stream.
Alright, let's see. We gotta call this, like, interview smoothrock part 2?
I wasn't done
Rock
speaking
continued.
yet.
Well, I guess we gotta call this part 2 for the VODs.
No, in the VOD, I'm just gonna recombine it.
That's... Oh god, that shit's hilarious. Well, do you have a,
Here's the new link.
smoothrock continued. Alright, I'm gonna go share this with my channel, because the other one died.
I'm gonna go take a piss.
This is
Chill
peak
Central.
podcasting.
Daddy isn't done speaking.
Bush is a professional
I didn't
podcaster.
tell them the last words. Daddy isn't done talking yet.
Oh man, this is
We're not done here. Daddy's not done speaking.
this is fantastic. I love this. This is a great way to end the year as the last guest.
Yep. What a way to end off 2024 with our final guest than this bullshittery.
Oh yeah, this is great.
It's amazing.
Oh god, my abs hurt too much to keep laughing from this. God damn it. Ah, fuck.
Alright, then to get back into the dry shit. How did you get into the Snoop Lion community? Was it the pipeline like yours truly?
Go through yours real quick, and I'll relay mine.
Okay, so this all started back in 2020 with the PlayStation Direct, where we saw a little game called GBH.
Damn, you're day one.
But yeah, I will recombine the VODs into one video, just so we have a actual continued thing. And not this weird fucking page break for people who want to pay attention to that. Okay, I'm not gonna be insane with this.
Yeah, but
I'm going a little insane.
Going back to my story, watching that because I was only interested in seeing Demon Souls, and I would go back to watching an art stream. I saw GBH and go, "What is this gay, scaly cringe?" Foreshadowing. Going on a couple years, I keep seeing my recommended feed, especially in the last year and a half, a little video called 12 Canadians, or 4chan versus 12 Canadians by a certain YouTuber called Ducksin. I keep seeing this video in my recommended feed. Eventually, one day, I'm so fucking bored, I go, fine, I'll watch it. Then I watch the sequel for Wani. Then I see Judge Tiki with his Snoop Wani videos. Then Bowie. Then a certain Humoto. And now here I am a couple months later, an author. With a crog exception with Dino Women and a Scaly. Yeah.
Things happen.
It real, folks.
Beware
It
the
fucking
pipeline.
real.
I gotta dip out to do writer stuff real quick, but good talking to you, Smoothrock.
Yeah, you may be back.
You too, Goose.
Hey,
I will
thanks.
kill you in your sleep.
I
Thanks
hope
for coming
so.
out, Receiver.
I really hope so.
It was a pleasure to talk to you finally.
Yeah, and goodbye. My people need me.
Yeah, I'll see you
Whoa.
in 9 to 12 business days.
Oh, thank God he finally left.
What a fucking loser.
Christ, I had put up so much effort talking to him.
It's so
God
hard
damn.
sometimes. So hard.
Fucking
I think of this... Some of these, it's like I'm running a charity for the special needs, honestly.
It's like he thinks he's so much better than us for coming up with like one of the best like stories recently about Christ. Okay, sorry.
I love that we do that as soon as anybody leaves, we start shit-talking them. Because I know for a fact he's gonna watch the VOD. I know he's gonna watch it.
It's so fucking low-hanging fruit, and it's so good every time I see it.
Man, whenever somebody leaves, it's just like, man, I fucking hate that guy. And this is getting recorded, so, like, he knows.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I love it. Okay.
Love you, Receiver. Anyways.
So my pipeline. Christ. Okay, so here's a weird one. It was in the middle of, I think, May. Yeah, May. It was like a month after Wani released. I saw some advertisement for it, and I just saw like a picture of Olivia rolling down the hallway with like that piss off expression from the opening animatic from like one of the very first scenes in Wani. I saw that as an ad somewhere. I think it was on Reddit, and someone made a joke about it. And I went, "Oh, that's funny. Look into it." And someone in the comments said, "Is this that 4chan developer furry game?" And someone said, "No, it's Scalies. Get it right." Somehow that stuck. I'm not sure why. However, I went 4chan developers, and my brain immediately clicked to Katawa Shoujo, which is old lore for anyone who has not done
I
any
have in
research on
fact
that.
played Katawa Shoujo.
Yeah, that thing probably came out when you were like, I don't know, 8?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd heard of it and I played it later. My introduction to that was just like the meme of, Jesus Christ, did your mom give birth on a minefield?
Yeah. Yeah, that and flapping and flying. That was something. Yeah, I was around lurking the boards when that first got dropped. It was hilarious. So anyways, my brain made the connection between Wani and Katawa Shoujo, which was my curse, because I immediately went, oh, that must mean it's good. So then I went into Wani, tried it out, loved it. Got ending 3 the first time, and I found out, oh wait, there's multiple endings to this. Oh wait, there's multiple endings to this. What the fuck? Go back, get the rest. Have a great time. Then I found out, oh, there's a game before this. Get into Snoot game. Liked it a little bit more for a variety of reasons that we all know about. And from there, it was just a slow drivel of me sitting at my desk, playing both games, and then slowly devolving as I got past all of that on the subreddit, which was alright. It had some fun moments here and there. But honestly, Discord here is better. Ho ho ho, just saying, guys. Join Snoot Club. And once I was done with those games, I went on vacation with my wife. And we went to the beach. And I spent 2 hours on the beach reading, ironically, Receiver K's fic, and just loving it to death as a what-if scenario. By the time I was done and got home, I started reading more stuff. I finished off that fic as well, because I did not read that fucking... I did not spend my entire vacation with my wife reading fan fiction. That's dumb. Spend time with the people that you love, guys. Come on. But I did have fun reading it. Enjoyed it so much, I started looking into the other fics. Got exposed to others, like None in the Chamber. I found Arlok's Tori game, which was fantastic. Found Bodhisattva. Found the Swan archive, because, let's be honest, he's got an entire, just like, archive of just stories here and there. And started finding more and more and more people. So, eventually, I decided, hey, I wrote fan fiction when I was in college. That hurts to say. When I was in college. Let's see what I can do now. And I went from really bad, I mean just awful crap, back in college, to where I am now. And looking at the stats of an old account, I can see I had 500 hits for my old fanfiction back in college. Now I'm at like... Actually, what the fuck am I at, actually?
Several
I don't even
thousand.
know. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. I have like several thousand across various fics. I have lots of people following me, which is flattering, but at the same time, I just know that I write something that's entertaining for people. And I have more than 500,000 words written for this fandom.
I mean,
So that...
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
But I was going to talk about my fucking step into the pipeline to where I am. It's not as complicated as yours. I played Snoot Game when it came out. Because, once again, I'm funny. It hates everything. But it's in a researched way, I like to put it.
That's
you
fine.
should go consume it so you know why to hate it. And then the hive mind all of a sudden agreed, this isn't so bad. It's scaly shit, but it's not so bad. And then it consumed me for a month, and I forgot about it for a while. And Wani came out, and that reawakened the energy, like the memories of it, of when I was 17 playing that and Katawa in my basement. In my mom's basement, because the house was separated in such a way. It was like half of the living space was just downstairs, so it's not like an unfinished basement. It's just where my bedroom was.
Yeah. Okay. That makes
And then I started consuming more like Wani and Snoot related media. You know, Armored Porcupine than Humo. It's not as long as yours is. And then I wait, and now getting to where I am now, that I started doing YouTube again because Humo went on vacation 1 week.
So you decided to step up. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, all right. So people weren't going to get their reading, like their audiobook fix, right? Because he was going on vacation. He wasn't going to read. So I whipped out all of Bad Apple in that week after work, after working 10-hour days and driving, hour and a half each way. I whipped out the entire thing in a week with low quality audio.
Hell yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
That's great.
That's how me and this chuckle fucking met.
Honest to God, if it works, it works. That's what matters. That's what matters in the end. That's what
And
matters.
I haven't been reading as much as I used to because I've just been doing other things that consume more time.
Yeah, fair enough. So I guess my question is, when are you gonna read my shit, man? Come on.
I don't know. I'm gonna read your shit on stream.
Why not?
I don't fucking know. It's just like
I'm here now.
You're here now. I've read one of your things at least.
Okay, what was it? What's the title then, dick guy?
It was the Blackthorn.
Yeah, that's like one of 12 fics I made. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I don't have time for everything, man.
You're literally doing this. You have all the time in the world.
I have
So
plumbing
you gotta
code.
understand, I was the one who wore Magu to get you on here.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't get to passively read fics anymore. I target it like it's an extra job.
Honestly, that's fair. Jokes aside, that's entirely fair. I don't think people should be pressured into reading fics. It's something that should just be enjoyed. Legitimately. Word of mouth is the only really good way to get someone to read something. If you just pressure someone into reading a fic that you like and say, you have to read this. You have to read this. It's not enjoyable. It's not as fun.
Nah.
I only want people to really know about what I do simply because they had a fun time or laughed or felt something when they did that. Be it from Lean on Me, which is my bleakest fic I've ever had fun writing. And I will say, is it arrogant to say I try to imagine what it was like in that fic if I lost my wife? And that's why I try to not cry during parts of it.
No. You poured a strong emotion into the process of writing it.
Okay, so you've read it then. What do you think? I'm curious. I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm legitimately curious.
It generally hurt to read. I'm pointed at nunchamberexperience.tm for a reason, because you took all the strong emotions that are in Nun Chamber, condensed it into a single fic, and you dug at my soul hard, man.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, fuck.
Smoothrock, when I read through your fics, you'll know I was there because I will leave something cryptic behind.
Cool.
That's what I do for everyone. Everybody gets something cryptic.
Well, thank
If
you.
I enjoyed it.
Well, if you did enjoy it,
If I enjoy it, I leave something cryptic behind. If I don't enjoy it, I just move on.
Yeah, you would be on red. That makes sense.
It's not worth my time to think of something witty or clever or, fun to leave behind. Even if it's as simple as, the onomatopoeia of the Chamberlain walking into a room for Dark Crystal. That's cryptic because nobody knows what the fuck that means in written text.
Yeah, fair. Very fair. I mean, honestly, I will say it was fun writing Lean on Me just because it was such a 180 of what I typically do for my fics, which is, at that point, it was either happy kind of teenage drama, or it was just smut. Let's be honest. So at that point, it was just very, very fun to just kind of go to 180 to, what if I just made things actually worse than what they are? And what if I do the number one rule of literature to avoid, which is just make the kids suffer too. And there we have it. And of course, I say, okay, guys, here's my one shot. And then I have 2 goddamn goobers hound me, who I will not name at the moment. But I keep having goobers chase after me and give me ideas and talk and talk and talk and whisper, whisper, whisper in my ear like little goblins they are. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, what about a chapter 2, though? What about an epilogue? And now I'm thinking, okay, this epilogue is going to be either 12k words or it's going to be 20k words now. So...
They want to eat up your time.
So what?
They want to eat up your time.
Yeah,
and
they
you
do.
want to eat up your time.
Yeah, the Lean on Me storyboard has plenty of fucking suggestions. I've actually had to kind of consider and go, wait a second. That actually kind of works. So yeah, now I'm going to make a Lean on Me chapter 2 for next year. So yeah, look forward to that, everyone. Woohoo!
Oh boy, more pay!
Good for you.
Hooray!
I'm sure I'll get around to it eventually.
I'm going to call it Stand By Me.
What, like the that old movie? And Lean on Me is like the old song?
Stand By Me is also a song. It's also a song. What?
No, Lean on Me is a song. Stand By Me is a movie.
Stand By... Goose, are you... What? Dude, it's a song too. Have you not heard of Stand By Me? The song?
I've heard of Lean on Me, the song.
I can't tell if you're just fucking with me.
That's the way I like to keep it.
Pat, is this guy real?
Don't you fucking use my chat against me.
You're 20 years old. You've never heard of Stand... I feel like I'm having a fucking aneurysm at the moment.
I grew up in the woods in the tall grass. Oh, Lion King.
What?
Huh? He's saying Timon and Pumbaa. So is it what? Lion King? What? Huh?
Ben E. King.
Oh, Ben
Stand
E.
By
King.
Me. Have you... My guy, Jesus
I've
Christ.
listened to some Benny King. I just forgot. I forgot more than some people will ever know.
Okay, I've got to apparently put this freaking clip into the goddamn chat for you to listen to later on. But yeah, Stand By Me is a song by Ben King.
All right.
Like,
well, now I'm recalling it. I know what it is, but there's another song called "Lean on Me."
Yes, I know. I linked it in my fic.
And I was just thinking of the movie "Stand By Me," which is about those children who go exploring and to find dead bodies and whatnot.
Yes,
Oh,
It's a coming of age.
I am going to strangle your goose neck.
Good luck catching me.
Oh,
Get over here!
this is... Oh my god, I'm going to have a fucking aneurysm at the moment. Okay,
This
so...
is what's called when mommy and daddy fights when there's a guest.
I don't know
Well,
who
this
you're referring to what.
This also happens when the child apparently just decides to not be educated or be a productive member of society and doesn't know what good music is.
What do you mean not productive? I build infrastructure for a living. What's more productive to society?
Doctors.
What I do is preventative maintenance.
Yeah, well, I can't really blame you because I've known people who do not winterize their outdoor plumbing, their faucets and whatnot whenever it gets down below zero still, and then they have cracks in the walls. So
yeah, and then they decide not to unhook their hoses for the winter. Little stuff like that.
yeah, that's such a simple goddamn fix too. Jesus
Yeah, that's
Christ.
so simple. Just fucking unscrew the hose.
And you save yourself thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Like, my house doesn't have all that much plumbing, to be honest. It's just all in the kitchen and bathroom, which is on one section of the house, and that's it.
Well, you are a goose, so I imagine the nest isn't that bad, actually.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
All right, Sierra, before we have Far Gua here tonight...
I don't have a fatty liver.
Deep breaths.
What, you didn't expect me to know what that was?
Apparently you don't know Stand By Me, so yes, actually.
Foie gras, that you chain down a fucking waterfowl or avian and you feed it all sorts of like lentils and shit so it gets a fatty liver without burning off calories. and it's apparently delicious.
It's also very inhumane.
Yeah, it's like veal.
Yeah, what's that fucking French dish where they eat, like, I think a semi-alive bird, and the tradition is that the restaurateurs put a draped cloth over their head to hide themselves from God's view?
I've heard of what you're talking about. I don't know what the name is.
All right, somebody in chat look this up for us later, but look up French dish, eat live animal,
It's in a Hugbee's
hide...
video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in a Hugbee's video. He talks about it.
All right, well, there we go. Someone go track that down for us. We'll come back to it later. Sierra, before we get into me cannibalizing the host today, what's your next question we have?
I guess we kind of touched it, but what is your favorite character from either game, and what game coming up are you looking forward to?
Ooh. Okay, that's actually a good question I hadn't thought about before. Shit. Okay, let me break this down between the sexes, if that's all right.
Of course.
Best female character that I have the most fun with, I think, is, and nobody shoot me for this, Naomi. That is because I like what happened at the end of Snoot Game, at the extra chapters, where she became a regular-ass person. It was very fun to see. We're like, oh, she just broke down entirely and became a regular person. Even became roommates with Fang, honestly, in the true ending of E4. Because they were a teenager in over their head, tried to be doing everything they could possibly do, and ultimately became a human at the end. An adult at the end. Because they realized how shit worked if they didn't try to push their view on everyone. So that was fun. That's my unironic take on Naomi. And also, working out the background, I kind of talked about this at one point in one of the various storyboards, but putting Naomi into a box without any kind of background is boring. Like many of the characters in the games, no backgrounds, no personalities, no characterizations, nothing. Hell, Chet, Stella's boyfriend in Snoot Game, or at least like her prom date, has nothing to his name. He's a beefy track star, but that's it.
Blank slate.
Exactly. So being able to create things around them is very, very fun. That's why I like to see it whenever people try to experiment with Naomi a little bit. Hell, anybody, really. And give them more of a personality based off of what they interpret things to make sense. And for me, that is overbearing / dismissive parents who want perfection from their child, and the child picks up on that and tries to stress it into life through various activities, which means eventually it's going to blow up in their goddamn face. So for favorite male character, that's a bit tricky because I haven't given it a whole ton of thought. But if I'm going to be honest, I think I dig... Oh man, this is going to really set someone off. I know specifically when they hear about this. It's going to be Nasser. Nasser is the honest-to-goodness, try-to-do-good kind of person. And he's neurotic, which I get, honestly. Stressed, tries his best, tries to be a legitimately good person and supportive brother to a sibling that is entirely done with putting up with them. I love that dynamic a lot. I find it very endearing. So whenever I see it happen, I instantly have a lot of fun. Because it's someone that people can kind of look up to, or at least hope things go well for. Which, out of a lot of base Snoot Game characters, you don't really see a lot of. Let's be honest. Trish is hateful. Reed is just so neutral. He is a non-character at times. And is frustrating for a lot of good reasons. And Fang straddles the line between cunt and pitiable.
Yeah.
So, in comparison to all of them, I mean, yeah, Rose and Stella, very good. They're very easy, but they don't have a lot to them throughout any of the endings. They're fun characters, they're positive, but they're so
They get
default.
overlooked because there's not
Yes.
a lot to them.
There's no conflict for them. There's no trauma. I shouldn't say trauma. There's no trials for them to overcome. Everyone else has something else they have to overcome to be a better person. We all talked about everyone else already. For the Worm Drama crew, there's a ton. For Non, there's fucking a ton. For Nace and Naomi, plenty. But for Rose and Stella, the Gardening Club members, they just always been kind of good. Maybe they're awkward. Maybe they're kind of social pariahs. But that leaves them to be fun characters to work around with, kind of experiment with. Like whenever Bad Apple came around and people said, hey, let's make Stella French and part of what is now formally known as Asperger's. That was fun to read. That was really fun to see happen. I will admit I don't like Bad Apple's treatment of the insanity of seeing dead specters for Non, and how it just kind of resolved itself pretty easily. Not a big fan of that.
But I mean, it's
However,
also something that's hard to parse. Figure out how we deal with trauma.
It is. I will say it is.
Yeah.
It's
I
used
think-
as a story device to pretty decent effect, is what I thought.
I've always seen the Remnants as Anon's physical manifestation of his mental state and guilt at a certain time. Because you see how it parallels the 9 stages of grief.
Yes, I agree. Like, there's anger, acceptance, there's acknowledgement, there's lots of things to go through.
It's not so much those people's actual view of him, it's his view of himself as presented by somebody else.
Oh yeah, E1 and On is just a self-hating person, through and through. None in the Chamber mixes it up a little bit, which I really dig, honestly. So there is that. However, we're getting a little bit sidetracked. However, Nacer and Naomi are my favorite characters, not because they're a couple, but because there's so many things about them that make them believable that you can interject them into any high school scenario and go, yeah, that person is real. Or, yes, what they just did is completely believable. It's all this little weird stuff, the little idiosyncrasies that they have. Naomi's doubt that you see early on in one of the early parts of the Snoot game, her constant worry for Nasser, her slight jealousy, her selfishness, and then there's Nasser's neuroticism, which I already mentioned, but also his care, his anger, his complete frustration, defensiveness. Everything makes sense. It's something that points to people that are deeply flawed, relatable, and believable as characters. I just muted myself to get a drink of water after talking that much.
There's just, the pause is awkward. I was expecting Sierra to come chime back in.
No, you cut halfway through a train of thought, so I was allowing you to continue elaborating.
Well, fair
Mike,
enough.
see you.
Well, I will say that out of them, it's just fun to write, even if I have taken extreme liberties with their characters as well in my fix. Like, whenever I made, say, Nasser gay and Walt. That shit was kind of fun to experiment with. It's kind of like a thing, like another bit of fuel to the fire for his constant ball of worry. Or how kind of imagine, oh, what if Naomi was a rich girl? What if she had like a lot of family that was like very pressurized towards her? And then it becomes more of like an experiment from there. Like, okay, what if we have this character do XYZ, this character be not quite so bitchy, but more stunted emotionally, things like that. Because it's something of both experimenting to make it totally off-kilter, but still somewhat believable. Which, I mean, we've said multiple times already this today, that fanfiction is about creativity and going loose and not following norms. But at the same time, it's fun to be able to try to experiment and see if it makes a believable sense of structure compared to what we already see as base game Snoot. So whenever like people say, "Hey, I don't like this," I can kind of go, "All right, fair enough, whatever." People say, "I really dig this," I go, "Thanks, that's really awesome. I'm glad you like it." So yeah, it's a bit of a ramble I've gone on at this point. Honestly, I'll be real, but it's just fun overall. Everything's fun. You fuck with the character, you slightly tweak a character, you make them different, you make them the same, but there's going to be a difference no matter what in the end, because fan fiction in some way is going to have some form of difference that makes for an interesting story. It can be wild, it can be mild, but we're all still coming back to this, and we have, I guess, 1,000 plus fics now in archive of our own for Snoop fics.
Yeah.
Wani fics. Whatever. The combined both, yeah.
Yeah, like Wani has passed 1,000 in the GBH category, is close to hitting the 1,000 mark, so we get in there.
Yeah, exactly. But
we will be there shortly, inshallah.
Inshallah, mashallah. But like legitimately, whenever you put in Snoot Game in the first place, and you still get Wani as the default entry. So yeah.
Yeah. And like I have two tabs saved. One is GBH, one is Wani, because already with the Wani tab, you get all the Snoop Fix in there. They get lumped in with them, so you get all three at once.
Exactamundo. And then it just becomes a bit of a fun time of, okay, well, who's gonna be paired off together? Let's make that a fic. Woo!
Let's sort by fucking tag is wild. Sort by relationship tag, crazy.
Yeah,
dog. I've seen some fucking Ferris X hot dog lady shit. It's wild.
The fuck? Okay,
When,
that's
though?
new to me.
I saw it once. I passed by it. I don't remember what it's called.
Tracy X Ferris, what the fuck? I thought the shit I cooked up was weird.
Well, hey, I made Sage X Mia a thing.
But that
I've seen
ain't
those.
that crazy, but fucking Ferris Tracy, what the fuck?
No, Grant, I'm guilty of this too. There's what I'm working on in the VC chat. If you would, Mr. Goofman, to give the master a sneak peek.
Alright, hold on. Now I have to save this to my fucking hard drive so I don't have a huge black border.
Lol.
Lamau. Clogging up my damn hard drive with your stuff. And here it is. He's working on the Jenny fic.
Surprise, surprise, people. It's Raptor posting once more.
Surprise, surprise.
Yes.
Raptor Rot takes over the world.
Raptor Rot. That's a good way to put it.
I am contributing to the Raptor movement. Yes.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think I hear Magic Man squirming in the distance.
You say that, I'm helping him with that. I am pretty much co-author at this point.
Oh, you are? Oh, yeah, you are. You're always there with it. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Wow.
He had me read over it to see how things come across, too.
Yeah, I'm gonna proofread it as well.
Yeah, like I'm proofreader and I am helping him with cooking up ideas on it, so.
Neat.
I really need somebody to fucking help me cook up mine. I can't be trusted alone with a pen. It's a bad idea.
I mean, you're doing a mod, so that makes complete sense.
I'm doing many things. I do a wide variety of activities to keep myself occupied there, smoothrock.
Fair. So yeah, everyone can see the the Raptor Rot, as we have put it, of Anon pulling the ever popular Janine, pulling on her at least, I should say. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, this is the fucking origin of what I'm doing right here. This piece of art.
And of course, there's the other one that you're
Oh
doing,
shit!
Fortress.
I'm just looking at this
later.
now.
Yes, and there is Fortress. Prepare thyself.
You know what's really weird is whenever I look over my statistics on my account for archive, and I realize people have subscribed to my one shots of smut. And I just got to say, there's not going to be extra chapters for that stuff. Well, except for Sweet Heat, I guess. God damn it. Yeah, people just like to subscribe to my stuff. Apparently, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I usually subscribe to the user, but, each their own.
Yeah, the user subscription is really the way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Though it is also really fun whenever like you just go through the discords and you just attack somebody with what statistics numbers are there. Such as whenever I go through and I attack DM After Dark because I have more words on my account than he does. That shit's hilarious. I love that shit because he writes like a goddamn maniac. Within just one fic, the man has so many words, so many chapters, and he has not shown any sign of stopping. It is frightening to see his level of commitment. And then I just come along and say, hey, I have a lot of fics, so here's more words than what you have, and just, I don't know, trigger him. It's great.
It's wild that bothers people so much. It's just like, people cook at different rates. Different foods require different heating temperatures,
It's not really triggering him. It's not even really triggering him. It just becomes just a joke between the two of us. Like, hey, who writes faster now? Me. And then we just keep going along. And so eventually he'll catch up to me, and I'll throw a shit fit because I have to. Much like whenever Dat Doge, who reads one call, is all it takes. He took the misery crown from me and made it as such in the comment from my recent fix. He called me the former king of misery. And I said, you motherfucker, how dare you? So yeah, as much as we have friends, it's good to have frenemies too.
Dog, I'm just straight up making enemies too. It's great. Starting beef randomly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, that shit's good. That gives me power. That gives me salt in the veins. Keep going.
Anybody can fucking make fun of me all they want. I don't care. I'll be victorious in the end. I know it. I know it. All you have to do is show one moment of weakness, and I'll simply take advantage of it. Raw, I'm evil. I started the cocaine epidemic in the 80s. It was all me. It was my doing.
Yes, long before you were born. Long before you were born.
It was a precursor to me existing.
Let's see. Okay, there we go.
This shit ain't nothing to me, man. I'm smoking Banshee boogers in this shit. Smoking shit out of a glass pipe, blowing the Lord's bubbles.
Yep. All right, we're getting Caveman Flow over here. Now watch out, everybody. Caveman Flow's gone through again.
I'm not going to continue with that bit. I'm so tired at this point.
Yeah, Curious Anon will never he will never leave. He will never have that bit of infamy leave his profile, leave his name forevermore. And I will always enjoy it.
Hell, he needs to come back and do the Y version now. Where are you, motherfucker? We need some more of that caveman flow.
God, Caveman Flow Wani, that would be actually hilarious.
Yeah.
Then again, I just like see the most deranged shit happen on the Smut Writings channel. It's great. I love it. It's not only porn, but it's just a lot of just hilarious bullcrap coming up between people's minds.
Yeah, like, it's smut and shit posting. It's great for that.
Oh, entirely. I love that crap. I've actually managed to get along with some lovely people, thanks to Smut Writings, who kind of go, hey, could you take a look at my fic and tell me what you think? I'm like, sure. And we get to editing, proofreading. I'm like, yo, this stuff's pretty good. You should keep going with it. And we just kind of keep, I guess, the diatribe lives somehow. The sewer mouth continues to pull in more and more souls until eventually I'll be editing and proofreading all kinds of crap on this server. I'll be proofreading everything. I'll have influence everywhere. My fingers in every pie. I'll be dead. So that reminds me, Goose, you've mentioned it a few times, but what all is cooking in your book right now? Like, we know a few things, but do you have a list?
The 4 things. Well, I'm counting this as one of the 4 things, but I also have Columba Mod.
Of course.
Working on the actual audio drama version of Bad Apple.
Right.
and then Megaloboxing, which has been sidelined for a while now because I started other shit. Which is, have you ever seen Rocky?
Oh, of course.
It's like Snoot Rocky, a little bit. It was the plan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen that.
Other
mentioned.
people are
I don't
starting
know.
to do stuff around boxing and whatnot now. So I'm no longer as original as I once was.
Lol.
Lol.
Punch Drunk is MMA, not boxing.
I mean, the Megaloboxing anime was pretty fun to watch.
Megaloboxing, the anime, is great.
Only season 1. I didn't like season 2 very much.
I've only seen season. I don't think there is a season 2, is there?
Wait, I thought there was.
No, there's only one season. Like, they did the one tournament and that was it. And then the
Wait,
guy
what the fuck am I thinking
disappeared.
of? What the fuck am I thinking about then? God damn it.
Oh, are you thinking of Ippo? But even then, all of Ippo's seasons are pretty much bangers.
Well, that's something I've got to look into later. What am I confusing my anime with? Oh well. Speaking of back burners, God, people are gonna hate this one, but I put Double Dutch in the back burner for a while.
We're
How many
double
months?
Dutch.
I know, right?
How many months
It's
have you
gonna,
put it on?
the last
semesters.
Listen, I'm approaching 6 months Megaloboxing backburner.
I think it's been 2 so far for a Double Dutch.
Oh, rookie numbers.
It's weird because I have like the first 3.5 chapters kind of outlined and rough drafted so far. But that means as a series, it's more complete than the little beta thing I put on my account way back when. So I've tried to think about how to get around that, but at the same time, now I'm looking at all these other projects I'm involved in, and I said, okay, I've put a limit on myself after Blackthorn, and I picked that up as a channel, at the beginning of the month. And I said, okay, this needs to happen first. I can go through these things fairly quickly. Double Dutch, by its nature, is going to take way more effort, and it's going to need a lot more attention than what I can give it right now. So I'm going to get through Walt, RTM, and or Blackthorn first, alongside some of the other little things, such as Barrel of Moose with Swan, and little projects here and there I'm being drafted for that I will not name at the moment, because I need someone else to kind of like feel okay with announcing that themselves, because they're the originators of the fix, essentially. I was just brought on for a few little chapters here and there for collaboration, so I'm going to wait till someone else announces, hey, let's do this, and then I'll say proudly what I'm doing. So, Oh, hey, look, you went from 81 subscribers to 84 subscribers now, Goose. Good job.
Cool. That's because you dragged more people to me.
I somehow doubt that. I think I just reminded people about it by just saying the number enough times. They went, oh, shit, got to subscribe.
I've not subscribed yet, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
that's
I'm thinking about drafting more people to make a full Columbo game, if people enjoyed the mod well enough. Columbo Storm.
Woohoo!
Now that's seriously being... I'm going to seriously consider that and figure out what I would need to do for that. How the fuck do I make that a branching pathways type game with multiple endings?
I mean, you had Receiver on here earlier. He could probably give you some ideas.
Yeah, probably, but I don't know if he wants that extra workload beyond the mod.
Lol. Oh, shit. Going back to questions, Sierra, you mentioned about upcoming mods and games I'm looking forward to. Holy crap.
Like fan games, mods, full games. Which ones are you looking forward to?
So there is a mod that my lovely buddy Toad has done some effort on for Snoopy-Doo. Snoopy-Doo. There was a beta release around Halloween, and I believe Toad has at least mentioned he is working on some parts of the full mod release. So, I'm looking forward to that because I just love the dude's art. And also, I love Scooby-Doo as a kid. So, yeah, there's that. Afterwards, there is, of course, devlog. I just said so much about how much I'm looking forward to that game. I am so ready for devlog because I want a college experience so badly. High school is fine. It's okay. But the real enjoyment I have out of these fics and stories and whatnot is post-high school. It's like, oh, hey, they're adults now.
Yeah, I like those better too. I like those better too, where they're actually out experiencing the world. High school's been done to death, I think.
Yeah, that is high school is. I'm guilty because I'm part of the high school experience right now, honestly, in my fix. But once I'm done with those, I am so looking forward to just going, okay, I need some post-ending experiences right now.
Megaloboxing is not like there's a snippet of just being like a second grader, and then it just time skip. It just to establish characteristics that'll stick with him as a person forever.
Nice.
It's because all right, so young children think in simpler terms, and so you can really like expand like who they are really easily at that point. You can then extenuate that to what they would be as adults, right?
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So that's why I did that massive time skip. It makes him slightly vindictive towards the world because of what he saw happen to his father. I guess somebody compared it more to Creed. I think it was Reed that did that. It makes him vindictive about the other people in the box community and just wants to show them up, show that he's so much better than them. It gives him a chip on the shoulder. Yeah. That he carries his entire life to fester. And it establishes the interest of the other characters at the same time that they will still carry into adulthood.
Right.
You form a lot of your core traits when you're young, and then they get extended when you grow older.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of like Receiver's current fic, Misconnections, because it's kind of just great to see adults fucking up, but also addressing their fuck-ups. Because in Snoot, with some exceptions here and there, we just see a bunch of teenagers avoiding their issues, and that is a lot. And that is a lot of frustration to see sometimes. You just kind of realize, talking it out, that would solve like 90% of issues. Like, so many stories have an issue of communication would solve this so fucking quickly. But that's something we know as adults. And that's why we kind of like these fics, because it's so drama-filled. So there's an argument for both. You gotta be adults versus these young adults, these 18-year-olds are fucking up constantly, and I love it. So, call them A, call them B kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like how a lot of people kind of just really mess with the expectations. With Swan, for instance, Promise of a Lifetime, that shit's been great to read. It started out as little kids with a childhood romance to teenagers to what is going to eventually look like to be just them exiting and getting epilogues as adults based on an entire history that is really fun to mess with. I love that shit. I love long-reaching arcs that are built in such a way to be... How do I put it? They're built in such a way to be long-form and long-reaching, but with different consequences than what we expect of them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I see that kind of stuff, I'm a sucker for it, and I love it. I love like the long history between characters, kind of culminating to a head of conflict, of some kind of dramatic finish, or others. And we kind of saw that happen with Promise of a Lifetime, where things took a wild turn from base Snoot, which I loved. And then we see things take a way different turn for Anon in Misconnections as well, where, didn't talk to anybody, went to just the Navy, and now he is talking to the Worm Drama crew. Love it. Love that shit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's why I like A Nick of Time, because it is a Nick fic, but it's a college fic. Like,
Yes.
Anon's already lived most of his life with his good French bud Jean. Now he's in Volcadera, and now he's really starting to interact with people.
Yes. Exactly. That's what we're looking forward to. You're good.
What is it? Hold on. What is it? When the clouds part, I think. Was that Lousy? No, that's something else, I think. When the clouds part, where he comes back after the... Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was the Anon Dad Tarja story. Pain.
No, wait, no, I'm thinking of another one. It's like he comes back, he was in the army. He had a different person other than Fang. Then he finds Fang again, and Fang becomes stepmom.
Pay it forward.
Yeah, pay it forward.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was enjoying that. I need to actually get back to reading it. I think there's a few chapters out since I've stopped reading.
Yeah, pay it forward. God, oh, that's
Fucking
so
great.
good.
It is perfection made manifest.
Exactly.
This is a
God,
democracy manifest.
I love it's also just a collaboration between different writers. That is
Mhm.
so
And
difficult to pull off well.
You get a taste of each of the writing styles, and I really like it. I like how it worked
yeah.
out.
Oh yeah, like after reading over like the TOGN stuff for Civil War Snoot and seeing it happen with Pay It Forward, I'm like, yo, I'm starting to recognize your stuff, and I fucking dig it,
You
man.
can tell
I
who
really
wrote what.
fucking dig it. Exactly. Then you got Talos as well, and Talos he's got some pretty clear markers. Let's be honest. You can really recognize Talos' work sometimes.
He is in my list.
Oh yeah, but
I just haven't seen him out and about to ask him. I don't like just searching people up randomly and being like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you come here." That feels kind of
yeah,
off.
I'd rather
like
just-
us have a conversation first.
I'd rather like sometimes I only really like to talk to people once there's some kind of common ground for us to kind of like say in a chat or a VC or like a text channel versus a TC versus VC. Fuck, I can't talk anymore. TC versus VC. Like if I find them there, perfect. If I have to like go out and reach to them, it feels a bit awkward for me, honestly. I'll be
like
completely transparent.
Yeah, for this, it's like a Twitch battle, if you know what I'm talking about, where like everybody's adjusting to figure out the right move because nobody has common ground yet, and then it'll explode off, and it'll be hours later, and we'll have lost the time since the first 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Like I felt that with Mortron really heavily, where I didn't know what to think or what to do. If that makes sense, I didn't know where to go with him.
Yeah,
And eventually
fair.
it started picking up for a little while.
Very fair. Like, honestly, today was the first time I've really chatted with Receiver. And that was fun. That was, like, really chill. It was really nice.
Yeah, he's a chill guy, dog. Like, before I even started doing this, I was talking to him.
Yeah.
You know,
And hell-
he offhandedly mentioned on his Humo Spotlight that he liked Columbo. And I was getting into Columbo really heavily. Like, I picked it up from Walmart because I'm like, oh, I've heard of this before. And I picked up every episode. And I invited him. I was like, which ones are your favorites? Which are, like, what should we watch? For, like, the movie nights that reruns, because he had to take a break. So we watched Columbo instead off of my stream.
Nah.
And I asked him what some good ones are. He told me 2 of his favorite episodes. And then I started keeping a tracker of how close we get to Columbo's wife in any given episode. And the episode where he's on the yacht is where we can definitively prove that she was within 400 yards of him at one time. She's like, that's the background gag. Is like you never know. Like she's never seen in the actual thing besides a photograph.
Right. It's the fun little things of, hey, hidden character actually exists, and here's some tangential evidence of such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like I think the closest that we know she's been is if he was in the back of the cruise ship, she was at the front. That is as close as we can definitively say that she was.
God, I love that shit. It's kind of like how I've enjoyed a lot when I was really young. I really enjoyed watching Monk for that reason too. Monk was-
I've seen Monk. I don't like it as much as Columbo.
Well, that's your own damage.
Maybe we'll make a Monk mod next. Who knows?
Finish the first one you got, my guy. Finish the first one.
No,
So-
what we're gonna do next is the NCIS mod, of course.
Who would write for that, Sierra?
Oh,
Maybe the game could just be like different detective stories combining, and like there's a date route for like the people from NCIS, Monk, or Columbo.
Oh God, just date a bunch of damaged old men. Jesus Christ. Oh, what a
it
story.
could work. Well, like it could be like you could be like an older simian woman, probably.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah. Well, that's got your gander now.
Well, let's be honest. I have a both wide and narrow range. I will strike with any sort of female type, but for men, it's a very narrow window. That's the weird part of being within my strike zone. It is for men. It is within like a tiny little strike zone. It's tiny and narrow, and it is extremely specific. For women, by and large.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just start workshopping this idea into something more while you're here. You
God.
You seem to like workshopping. What all routes do we need to add for this detective dating simulator? Dinosaur detective dating simulator.
so
First
you
question
need.
is, how many IPs are we doing?
We can pull from so many. I think 4 is probably a decent number. We already know Columbus is going to be a character, at least, if not an available route, because he loves his wife.
Alright, so I've got it. NCIS, CSI Vegas, Monk.
What about
What'd be
the
good
X-Files?
X-Files, yeah, okay.
Scully.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a good wide range of detective stories
Mhm.
here. We have the heartfelt fluff. We have the in between with CSI. We have the more gritty with CSI, and then we got the weird
The
sci-fi
fucking
shit
weird
with
shit,
X-Files.
yeah.
Yeah, so we got a good
And then
range
Columbo's
here.
just a character in the background who loves his wife. Maybe you're just related to Columbo tangentially.
He could be the senior detective that everyone else reports to.
Yeah, something like that.
It makes sense since we have a liaison with so many agencies.
Yeah,
So
well,
think
yeah,
about
he goes
we-
to so
we've
many
got-
fucking places, so Columbo could just show up at any point in the story.
Yeah,
Now, I haven't
because
watched those
Monk's
shows
Monk's PI, we've got the CSIs, we've got NCIS with Navy, and
And then
we've
we have
got
the
FBI.
I haven't watched any of the other shows as heavily as Columbo, so I'd need liaisons for that, but it would be so fucking weird. How do we make this work? How do we make this dateable? Like, this is definitely like an adult out in the workplace. And I like,
Yeah, like-
the idea that the player character, or whoever represents the player making choices, is a simian
Okay.
woman.
Okay, that explains the first thing I was going to say is, are you playing as a simian woman then? Interesting. So I guess at that point, it depends on like what tropes you're going to go with. If you want like a good example of how to go between tropes of male MCs, look at Dream Daddy. Made by, I think, Game Grumps actually back in the day.
Yes.
Dream Daddy. Yeah, Dream Daddy is a dating sim for those who don't know of your character who is very much a buildable character between male, female, and whatnot, to being attracted to several DILFs, as they're called, with various types. There's the happy, bubbly, waspy dad. There's the goth dad. There's the emo, hardcore, bad person dad. And then there's workout dad. All kinds of sorts. So I'd say if you want like a good range of like what to look for, that might not be a bad idea. But then again, it's the only male love interest based visual novel I've ever played.
I think we still leave like one female option in this, which is of course from X-Files. What I think it's Scully. Am I getting that right? Am I remembering right?
Yeah, Scully is.
There's
the
still a
woman
female
that-
dating option, but I think it's fun to have like the NCIS and CIS and Monk as the other options.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It
Hell
would
yeah.
be definitely
Yeah.
like broken down just at good or bad end. I think in the X-Files route, you definitely at the bad end you get abducted by aliens and die or something. I don't know.
Yep. You know, you could just like stick with like maybe 3 routes to make it easy instead of going 4 per character.
Yeah, we go devlog with good. With 1, 2, and 3. Each one
Yeah.
is.
Bad.
Yeah, bad, bittersweet, good.
I would
Yeah.
have to lock in to learn programming so much better.
Hey, you're 20. You have time to learn.
Yeah. Well, do I? I have a hard job, and I have been learning, I suppose. Like, I have like a section of Columbo Mod, and it technically works in the programming way. All the puppets are. I just don't have all the assets I need.
True, and also Monk, my boy, has a funny little anagram of DILF as "Dude, I love Fang," which can't disagree. Honestly, good job.
Now, also, like, we can't, of course, name these IPs or have the characters be exactly the same, but we can have them be heavily based, I think.
Oh,
Well,
entirely.
It's more so we look at the IBs, we look at what their answers are, and then we build new characters off of that. Because at the end of the day,
What would you call
the
monk?
only
Would you
things
call him
that would be
druid?
related to him is the organizations of the three and then a PI.
Yeah.
Instead of monk, you call him priest.
I was gonna go druid as a D&D class, but yeah, priest makes more sense. Scully. Fuck it, skeleton puns. Scapula. Scapula, you know.
Oh, shit,
And
Bears
when
is
we
here.
get
Or
to
cranium. Or cranium.
Yeah.
And when we get to NCS, do we go with the Tony? Do we go with the Gibbs? Do we go with the McGee?
Those are such general names that I think we could still get away
No,
with
but
those.
they're the characters. Who do we base off for the love interest?
That's a good. I haven't watched a huge part of NCIS. So like I don't know who would be the best fit. I think it'd be interesting if it's two dudes and a woman as dating options for the simian woman. You know who would like be really helpful at like fucking just darting this would be Bears if he came in and like started talking about this.
He's here.
Bears, get in here. Get your ass in here. We're talking about this now.
I
And this also still gives us
summon the
a better insight into how you think, Smooth, for how this concept would go.
Oh, Jesus, really?
Yeah, this is me garnering an idea off of you.
Well, I'm glad my interview has been pounced upon by other people.
All right, hold on. Let me move Bears out of Bears. Let's put him in the corner.
Hello.
Hello,
Actually-
Bears. Nice to meet you.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty well today. Thanks for coming in.
Good.
All right, Goose. Well, lay it on for us. What are you going to do
All right.
with us two here?
So, the same thing. Like, if I were to make a game where it's like a dinosaur detective dating simulator, using the ideas from Monk, NCIS, and X-Files, how would I go about this in the best way possible to get some fluff out of it, while not like destroying the tone of each franchise that we're basing off of?
Yeah.
So-
'cause-
So say that again. Sorry, I was distracted.
we are currently workshopping a
Workshopping
game
live,
idea.
a game idea
Where-
to go beyond just Columbo Mod.
Yeah.
I love these detective shows, right?
Yeah.
So we have Monk, NCIS, and X-Files for our pools to grab ideas for detectives from.
Well,
How do we make this a dinosaur dating simulator with detectives in it?
Well, shit. I don't know how much of Ripley you want to use, but you can use him as in his heyday as a detective if you want.
Give him a full head of hair.
Get him a full head of hair. Give him a full crest. Because I have
Alright.
it. Yeah. Fuck it.
Ripley's supporting cast then.
Or hey, you could have him. Ever watch Blue Bloods?
I think, yeah, I have to watch some.
Yeah, do Blue Bloods with Ripley and have the fluff interspersed between
Well,
the
like-
serious bits.
What if I want this as like a marketable game?
Yeah,
So I can recoup some investments.
sure. Definitely though. You could easily do that with dinosaurs being cops. Predators
What?
especially would be excellent detectives.
What if you had the simian woman cop be Ripley's partner?
That would be very interesting. That would be that would be. I'm not too much into the Simian lore as I am to the Saurian lore. Actually,
Ooh.
that would be Swan's forte. Actually,
Hey,
So
I'm
you're
right here
saying, hey,
too.
grab him. No, I mean, like, at this point, like, we workshop character traits and names. How would you start beyond just simian woman? How do you use that biology to your advantage for this character?
Do you mean by naming convention, or do you
Naming
mean by
convention, personality, activity style, you know, that sort of thing.
So whenever,
oh, go ahead.
whenever I think of simian characters, so far, whenever I've been working with Swan on it, we think of Anna for Anastasia, also Hannah. So Hannah and Anastasia are typically, they feel very biblical to me because Hannah is kind of in that general name belt. Anastasia feels very, like Princess Anastasia from like old Russian Empire kind of stuff. So we're looking at kind of like older, maybe Eurocentric kind of names, in my opinion. But that is just my 2 cents on the matter.
So like Tiffany would work for like a older medieval like name.
Very good.
Not Tiffany.
You don't like Tiff?
Maybe. That's already taken.
When it comes to each Saurian, I think they have their own unique. I don't know I don't know the kind of words I'm trying to say. For example, naming conventions. There we go. When it comes to Stegos, I preferred to use the French naming conventions.
Hell yeah.
When it came to naming Chet, for example, I decided to give him more of a Mediterranean, or not Mediterranean, more Italian naming convention. It's funny because Swan and I were cooking Chet's last name, and I'm like, Swan, this is really stupid.
So maybe
what if his last name was Ocean? It's like Chet Ocean. And
so maybe something like Matilda or a thing of the sort.
Yeah, exactly.
You can nickname them to Maddie.
Yeah, and I gave
Maddie with
Taro's-
T's instead of D's.
Taro's stereotypical European names. This is basically
Germanic almost.
Yeah, very. When it came to Anon, I gave him very, very Germanic middle name with Yule.
Oh, that's right, actually. Yeah, instead of York.
Yeah. The thing about York is, like, when I think of York, the first thing that pops into my mind is Sergeant York.
Oh, I can
From
see
World
that.
War
I just think Old English, like very, very British.
That's interesting. It's just, but yeah, no, I didn't want to copy Swan when it came to York. I wanted to be my own little unique spin to it.
Well, here's a thought for you, Goose. What about Madeline, like Maddie for short, for a simian cop?
Madison?
Madeline.
Madeline.
Maddie
Interesting.
Lynn. Maybe. I mean, I kind of like it. Matilda has more of like a peasant vibe, I guess.
It does.
Just because of the book Matilda, I guess.
Oh God, I haven't thought about that in a while.
God, Danny DeVito was such an asshole in that movie.
He was also like the producer.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito can be a very good actor when he wants to, and other times he just wants to be a goblin, which I can respect.
And eventually he'll shrink into nothingness, and then we'll have no more DeVito Danny. No more.
We will simply have limoncello.
Yeah.
The Frog Prince of Hollywood will disappear.
Yeah.
That'd be sad.
He'll collapse in on himself like a dying star.
So,
I mean,
like,
hell, he was. Oh yeah.
With his
He's
outline
already. What?
How do we flesh out this character? What is your process? Like, you have a name and like a species, and that's it.
Oh.
How do you flesh out Madeline?
Oh, can I go over my little thing for character definition real quick?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I'm using this workshopping thing to let you go over like how your process works, because I work better with actual examples.
Okay. What I typically do is I give them at least 2 sentences that are truths, and then 1 sentence that is their flaw or fear. So for instance, if I say make a new character, I would try to make a very simple sentence, such as, she loves going to the beach. Her favorite food is tamales. And her flaw is that she is extremely tunnel visioned. And from there, just kind of fuck with it. Just really mess around, see what makes sense out of those little combined gestures. Because if you just try to make little quirks work together and work against other people, you'll have a pretty good idea of how a person works eventually.
So you can have her eating lunch with a Mexican family at the beach while building sandcastles, focused on nothing but the sandcastle.
That's absolutely interesting, because I almost did the same when it came to my variation of Samantha, the party girl. Samantha. It was, she liked to party. She was the face of the party. She was an absolute wild child. But those two pink lines caused an emotional snap and said, "Oh shit, this is happening." Moments.
Yeah.
And and her major flaw, Samantha's major actual flaw, is without her children, she would feel worthless.
You see,
She loves her.
Anyone would eat her alive.
Oh my fucking god! You think Thang's preen is bad? The statements in chapter 15 would have come to fruition
It
one way or
looks
the other.
like Buffalo Wild Wings afterwards.
The rights, yeah, but no, that's yeah, no. Samantha in chapter 14, when she is counting Anand's extremities, his arms, his legs, his toes, his fingers, as if they would disappear at any second. That's an obsessive habit that she developed when Nacer was in the hospital. It's an obsessive habit that she developed with Thing, believing that if all of her feathers were in the right place, she was essentially safe. See how that works? You got the obsessive bit. And that's what makes writing Samantha so absolutely batshit fun. For me, anyway.
That's kind of what I did in my Misery post E1 fic as well. I took some liberties with how things kind of ran around, but as more so, her family is gone. She is just no longer the same person.
Yeah.
And
what use is her wings if they cannot provide? Yeah.
But Goose, figuring out the little things, like we said, it's the best way to make someone believable as a character. 2 truths and a lie. Now, give them 2 facts and a flaw. That's what I think.
Beautiful. A good example. You know, that's absolutely perfect. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And then when you're building from the other direction, taking extreme comparison to something that already exists without it being legally distinct, we'll call it, making something legally distinct, how would you go for transferring an existing personality like that of monk or priest, as you already said, into the Snoot universe? Like, how do you determine what he becomes based off of his personality traits, what fits?
So I guess take, for instance, what is the general feel of, let's say, Columbo? What 3 words can you describe him with that?
Italian, bumbling, and smart.
Okay.
Or deceptive instead of smart.
Deceptive, that's a good way to... Actually, that's a really good one. So I guess my question is, why would that be bad in the settings of Snoot?
Deceptive? Well, he's hiding how threatening he actually is, because when you look at his face, you see something that's kind of cheerful, easygoing, easy to get along with. Then you look behind him and he has a huge fucking club. I think that represents the fact that he is a deceptive person in how he acts.
Okay, I should clarify. I'm not talking about just deceptive. I'm talking about like all those 3 words. Why are they bad in the general sense within the setting of Snoot?
Well, because there's no real Italians. For instance, there's nothing existing. Bumbling, he could easily get himself or others hurt just because a dinosaur just fucking around is going to hurt something. Going to hit something.
No real Italians? What are we snubbing Uncle Mo at this point? What?
T-Rex is very American. And also, the only reason Columbo isn't a T-Rex is simply because that's too outwardly threatening.
Yeah.
Columbo lures you into a false sense of security, and that's how he gets you.
Yeah.
This slander against the Morettis is infuriating to me, Goose. I'm just going to say that. But, so, really, though, that's actually some really good descriptors you give us. So, I would say, take those 3, combine them, think about how they affect him negatively, and then just start applying that to every other character you want to build. That's how you get them to best describe in Snoot. He's deceptive? Well, that's great, because predator dinosaurs probably don't like being lied to, and are a little scared and or put off by his huge club tail. That's one thing. If we say, for instance, the theoretical Maddie character, the simian cop, She loves Mexican food. She loves going to the beach, but she gets extremely tunnel visioned. That's bad, let's say, because she has to put up with really bland dice from all her coworkers, and it's really upsetting when no one wants to go get, say, Mexican with her. She loves going to the beach and finds it hard to go to the beach whenever there is such a obvious drug problem there, where there's like used needles and whatnot, and a place that she wants to relax at becomes another place of work, which is infuriating.
And then
she's tunnel
focusing on changing that.
Exactly, and then she becomes tunnel visioned, which is bad because you don't see the greater picture of how to take care of things if all you try to do is handle one problem at a time instead of taking care of various problems.
Also, don't forget body language when it comes to
simians
dinosaurs.
are going to be much more, I hate to say lower ape, but lower ape, as in like monkeys and the such.
Those body language for simians.
Great apes,
way more important.
I should say lesser ape. Lesser in size is basically what that means. The smaller apes are going to be, the more wiry ones. Great ape refers to chimps, orangutans, and gorillas, things of the such. I would say we're medium apes as humans.
I kind of bullshit our way through my fic of Barrel of Moose and Return to Monkey by making ape people like have tails despite being human-sized.
Yeah, no, I straight up gave Carla a tail.
I like the tails. I think that works.
And what I did when she had a fear response is I had her puff up, literally make her like twice as big when it comes to her fur just puffs up, and I had her tail wrap around her, attempting to secure itself.
Yeah, that's what I did with the non-tail in Return to Monkey. He uses it like an opposable limb in a way. He can grab onto stuff.
Oh, it's
a
fully prehensile tail?
Yes, it's a prehensile tail, and there's even like little mentions of, oh, mom's pissed off, she's exposing all her teeth.
The one of the it's might have sounded like this is a small interaction when it comes to Carla's character in Sweet Memories. If you need anything for a tiny little tunnel vision, I guess you could say, is Carla's obsessive nature on trying to clean Anon, even though he's bald. It's a great source of frustration because she is instinctual. English
the
is fun.
cleaning is a love language for the species.
Yeah, it's instinctual. It's instinctual for her, and she goes to pluck some lint or whatever, and there's no hair. What the hell? Where's my son's fur? Yeah.
I had that happen actually in Walt, actually, with a hybrid simian Anon started grooming Fang's wings unintentionally.
And that was what made the preening so much easier when it came to Anon's ability to understand what the motion was, because he mimicked what his mother used to have him practice for if on her, right, basically. Yeah
So really, like Goose, it's the little things like that will slowly build over time to make these characters really fun.
Yes. And
like it doesn't have to happen all at once. Nothing happens all at once.
No, it's all the little things that culminate into the explosions.
I remember you talking about Carla Bears during your interview a little bit, going over the tunnel vision, just how that might be like a species trait. Just
she 100%. I was thinking about it, and yes, she does have. She 100% has shiny rock syndrome, where they had my canon. They had the perfect life. They had big house. They had family, bouncing, beautiful baby boy, absolutely happy. There was an explosion. I'm not saying if there was terrorism or not. His dad got called back into the army. He comes home broken, and then it was a fall slow from grace.
Yeah, it was.
And they went from essentially what was the perfect life down to what you could probably classify as a really shitty E2.
Yeah, I mean, her brain categorized into what was most pressing for the time, and she had to pay attention to her husband, and she couldn't always look after the boy. The boy will be okay. The boy will live. And
as soon as the grandparents passed,
the boy was no longer okay.
The boy had already collapsed in on himself, and it was only highlighted during the rock bottom years. And
Yep.
in the rewrite, this will be, good God, I cannot tell you just how rushed the first 7 chapters of Sweet Memories were, and that was my mistake.
I really, really feel that after so many months of writing at this point. Looking back at like the first things I wrote, I'm kind of sitting there going, "Man, that just."
At that point,
Doesn't-
you were like,
I wrote
Yeah.
Anon very limp-wristed, and I don't know why that was, but I just kept fucking going with it. I'm going to. The DLC is free. It's craft with loving hands. Don't worry. it's
No,
Memories
Sean,
Plus.
don't! I have money!
but no, this will also, and I'll what I'll do is I'll retroactively go in and clean things up in the other later chapters too that have been bugging me for a shit ton of long time, and that way I can just go ahead and just, this is the Sweet Memories that I envisioned. This is what I wanted
Always
to lovingly
wanted.
craft, but did not have the skills to do this. But I do now, and that's the difference now, isn't it?
Yeah, that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. I mean, you got the tools to write with, but you don't know how to write. You don't know how to slap the brain cell just right to make it go. But now you do. So there you go. But yeah, no, the little things, all the little things add up to every single character. You will notice that that's just peak. That's just a cornerstone of character writing, really, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, sometimes stuff just strikes like lightning. Sometimes things just make complete sense.
And sometimes and sometimes the Aryan women are glass cannon builds.
For me, for instance, one of my fun things I made in Walt was like, oh, monkey feet. They can't run for shit, but they can climb real good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the little things. Like, sometimes you don't need really a lot of
Is
lore or
that,
background.
is that
content.
why Aaron
No.
falls so often? Because he has monkey feet?
That's exactly what I put in my fix, is that
That's-
hybrid Simeon Anon cannot stay balanced to save his life because his feet suck.
That's actually beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
I also have it that Swan and I were cooking. One of the reasons why we proto Sweet Memories Carla. I'm trying to use this as a base because we're talking about simians. Proto Sweet Memories Carla was an absolute misery fest. One of the reasons why she had fallen into herself is because I might have it that simians do not do well with substance abuses, as they are more easily susceptible to all the symptoms of, for example, in chapter, I want to say, the long haul, chapter 13, where Anon only had 2 beers, but it felt like he drank an entire pack. So I'm wondering if
It's a
If that
species
has-
trait. Another one.
yeah, that alcohol consumption is just a little bit more. They can't process it as well. I wonder. That's kind of what I was going for, of the feeling of, right?
I can
And
see
I-
that.
Yeah. What do they call it? They get addicted way too easy. They get addicted far easier than humans. And him being a human simian hybrid, it doesn't complicate. It complicates things in the feeling that he can have a little bit more, but it's almost like a false sense of security. Right? It'll eventually run up to him. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so and Proto Sweet Memories Carla had fully engulfed herself in the drink.
Mm. It's very fun to just come up with a random bullcrap. You don't need to have a primer. for everything, for instance. Like, a lot of these people are still going to be just sentient people with a lot of very similarities. But being able to say, hey, he's a monkey Anon. He doesn't have a bed, he has a hammock. That's what I did. Like,
Exactly.
let's just have something freeform. Like, a whole
Something fun.
canopy of ropes is in Return to Monkey. It's just, no one has definitive rules about what's going to happen.
No.
It's just up to you to have fun, and if you have enough fun, as we see evidenced by, I guess, myself and bears alike, people flock to it. They just kind of go, yo, that rocks. Can I have more of it? And we just go, shit, all right, here's some more pizza, I guess.
And if it turns out that people really like feather lore, you create an entire fucking fiction about it, like promise of a lifetime. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
right.
That was hilarious.
I have thoroughly infected Swan. I will infect more.
I'm-
Count on it.
I'm
trying
working
to make-
on it with.
I've been making Paralore. It's great. Paralore is awesome. I love it.
Isn't it fun?
I will
Because
infect everybody with the lore of real dinosaurs, as far as science can figure.
They're dinosaurs. Treat them like it.
I mean, that's how, like, me and Shuhan came up with the idea of, like, oh yeah, parasaur crests, they're kind of hollow on the inside, so they can make little honking sounds and, like, sub-vocalize.
Yeah. See, with the screonk, I almost hear it as a really fucked up strangled honk. Is how I hear it.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, it's completely unsexy and completely.
I think
just
of
like,
it more like a falcon type of deal. Not very sexy,
Really?
more
Because-
threatening. It's
because
not
other
like
people-
a goose honk. It's
Yeah.
just don't rank it.
Other
So
people,
it's
other
like
people hear like
roaring.
Godzilla. Other people hear Godzilla too.
Has anyone ever had to defend themselves from a angry goose or
Yes.
like anything? Okay, if you ever punch a goose, it makes a sound that is exactly what I imagined Screonk to be.
Oh, it was a mother hen that I ran away from when I was like 3, and I still remember that fucking demon. And that's it's actually how I started to develop Samantha's character.
Nice. I can see that.
Here's the thing. It's like me personally, and I don't know if you know this or not. I based the tarots off of the hellbirds you see in Australia. I call them hellbirds because that's what they are: the ostriches, the emus, the cassowaries, the bullshit 8 feet man eaters of the Mesozoic era, the terror birds, terror birds. Why not?
Oh god, that's so easy to
so
see now.
And when I based them off of is the high explosive nature of their ability to chase long distances at 30 miles an hour. They're booking it 30 miles an hour for like 5-10 minutes. So I said, okay, why not make them ambush hunters? Why not make them ambush hunters? And have their wings as corralling devices, making themselves bigger, right? It's the same thing with raptors. Raptors are pack hunters and do the same thing with their dew claw, as they use it as a Morse code to tap over long distances to communicate with each other. And it's also a nervous habit. I don't know. This stuff is fun.
Yeah, exactly. Goose, you're gonna have a lot of it yourself when you figure out like how all of these dinos clash in a workplace. May not be extreme, like we mentioned, but just kind of figuring out, okay, this person does X, Y, Z.
And how do I bring all this together?
Moving through a bunch of dinos would be very difficult too if you're not used to.
I think the Simian would use like I think they're more bendy and squishy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Than a regular human. The Simian over the regular hominid, definitely squishier, more flexible.
Yes,
because that's how monkeys are.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why his ass was saved. His simian nature allowed his ass
to take a fall a lot better, because simians are used to like trees, and so falling is something they have to survive.
Yeah, and to take a fucking spike through the arm. That's what allowed his ass not to bleed out. In my fic, is his simian. He was around 5 minutes away from the dark. That was it. But since he is simian, that's what saved him. because they're made to take abuse, and that's the only way I could actually play that one off.
Well, then what's the evolutionary advantage of the regular Homo?
A regular Homo sapien. Well,
Homo
I would
sapien
say
or Homo neanderthalensis. Is it
Innovation.
Is it innovation?
Very,
Is it
very
multitask
much.
better.
Very much. They were, while the dinosaurs relied on their brute strength and hunting tactics, the humans had to very quickly adapt and
Learn their
overcome.
crafting skills.
They had to sharpen their stick. They had to find ways to throw these sticks in such a way to kill the charging triceratops.
They invented the atlatl.
Okay, they did the gun, they did the fire, blah 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 blah. Right? They have to evolve really fucking quick, or they're going to be devoured.
Do you know what
By-
the atlatl is?
So that's how that would work. It would be greater thinking capacity, greater rationale skills, maybe possibly. Depends on how full on dinosaur you want to go on.
I don't want to
just
if I continue with this, Madeline, I don't want her to be full monkey. She has to be able to think in
Mhm.
parallel to be a detective. But like
Yes.
you're thinking, like with how it actually happened, why Homo sapiens is what's left,
Mhm.
as well as interbreeding with the other human races or human species. We also were the best at crafting by far. We
Yes,
invented something that gave us an edge called the atlatl. Neanderthals could chuck spears, but we could do it farther because we made an extra stick thing to give us a better, like an extra fulcrum of leverage.
Oh, yeah.
Turn
That's-
our hand into another like long bone, basically.
Mhm.
We held it in our hand, and we used our wrist as another elbow, and it let
Yes.
us go 3 times further and harder.
I would also wager to say that adrenaline levels would be higher in humans or simians, possibly. Adrenaline.
Hysteric strength.
I would wonder. Yeah, hysteric strength. I wonder if that would be the case. Would that track at all?
Maybe.
Adrenaline?
Would that be a thing across all races that adrenaline would be shared equally?
So I think it's a little hard for us to say because we're not like biochemical experts in this kind of in this
No, of
area.
course not. Of course not.
But I would say if you want to make a difference, you're welcome to. If you don't want to and keep things more level, that is also fine. If, for the sake of the argument, I say things are different, I would, for instance, try to say that dinos have higher testosterone levels, but humans have higher adrenaline levels, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Therefore, big, beefy anger versus high, flighty, fidgety
Just
reactions.
wiry nature.
Hence why Fang thinks Anon smells really fucking good. And this is also an interesting thing, because the flat faces were the snoots at one time in the Jurassic era, as how I have it. For example, is the snoots were a lot longer and they looked Fang. If Fang were to exist into the Jurassic era, I actually modeled that kind of Taro off the second pass Fang, actually, if you didn't know that already. With the longer shaped snout.
So you're thinking like pretty much the second era of dinosaurs, they became more human-like.
Yes, that the snoots developed alongside faces, and in this development, you had an attraction to the shorter faces, and you also had a revulsion against the shorter faces. Some women think that the shorter faces that humans have are absolutely immaculately handsome, like Fang, for example. Or you might have someone like Trish who thinks that think humans' faces. Where the hell is his snoot? Why is his face so flat? That's fucking gross. Get it out of my face, Becky.
Why is
You
it
know?
so fleshy?
Ew, Becky. Ew. Humans are gross. Ew. How could? Ew. Yeah. No. Seriously, it's like that. It's as simple as that. Some dino women find it a major attraction point. Some dino women find it a absolute revulsion of the eyes. I mean, you know, it's as simple as it could be, just as simple as that. That's how I have it.
So I'm going to be completely real. I forgot what made us even get into this tangent in the first place.
I was
little
actively
tiny details.
workshopping Detective Dinosaur Dating Simulator.
Okay,
Yeah, and we went
okay.
into little tiny details, and I started to go off on a lore rant again. Sorry, it happens.
It's all right. I just legitimately had a brain fart moment.
Yeah,
on me.
no.
We were.
no.
I was trying to make you flesh out for me how this works.
Yeah,
Right. Two truths, one flaw. Going
Yes.
from there, getting to the cultures, getting really into cultures, getting into biochemistry. Okay, yeah, I'm back. On
yeah,
track.
right. And then get into the adrenal glands. Right, got it. We're back to where we started.
Okay,
If
so, detective snoot. Right. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Oh Jesus. All right.
It's
So I guess the
its own
question
standalone
is:
game.
so you have the woman simian detective person who is likely going to be Scully. No, Mulder.
No, distinct from Scully. Scully is a dating option.
Okay.
Except she's going to have a different name than Scully. But still, like it's going to be based on bones or something.
Oh, okay.
Right. Probably like a cal, like calcifer, like calcium bones.
Maybe.
Oh, so okay, so
Or maybe Tarsal. Something like that.
Ooh, Tarsal's a good one.
tarsal.
Tarsal's a very good one.
Instead of being called
Um,
head, she's called hands. Oh, wait, no, feet. She'd be called feet.
Nick,
Because
Oh,
the bones are your feet.
Nick, what about ribeye?
Mm.
No,
I don't think that makes sense.
no.
Ribeye is more
Okay.
so meat than just actual bones.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do like tarsal. Also, metatarsal, that's lovely. Also, because feet, monkey feet. Yeah, that works out pretty well. It works out pretty well.
Scully is a dating option. So what would Scully be, do you think? Sierra, are you back from dinner? No?
I don't think he is yet. Whoopsie.
I don't have as much experience with the X-Files. Scully is trying to disprove the existence of aliens, isn't she?
Yes. She believes the supernatural is just natural phenom that have not been explored properly.
Yes. What are her main character traits, and we can figure out what she is?
She'd be ultra analytical, likely detail oriented, but also emotionally detached. Does that make sense?
That would be
No, that-
emotionally detached for a dating partner is that's a good flaw, maybe.
It'd be interesting to have a wall built up. How about this? Not emotionally detached. She is walled up,
Walled off, yeah.
walled off, and hard to get to accept.
Could have had a previous partner that she was absolutely burnt on.
Yeah.
Could have
What kind
jackass. Could have a jackass of an ex. That
I
she,
like the
It could
idea
just be
of.
Knoxville Knoxville as her ex. Have one of the little jackasses.
I love the idea more so of bad old former detective partner that she burnt or burnt her.
Yeah, that works too.
That works out perfectly, I think. Bitter, not bitter. Hard to have her trust the main character. Yeah, I like that actually a bit more.
Yeah.
What kind of
Just she
beast
trust-
is she?
trust
I
issues.
feel
Trust
like,
issues.
alright, so... If I look at Scully, which let me pull up right now what Scully looks like.
She could also have a fear of trusting herself with somebody else as well.
Which... Yeah. I don't know, I'm thinking Coelophysis, maybe?
Is it Gesundheit? What?
Hmm.
It's a creature.
What about Compy? Like Compasaur?
I think Compy's too small and not dangerous enough. Let me grab in here Coelophysis. It's a pack hunter, so it has to
Wait.
be distrustful.
Oh, like a subfamily of raptor, right?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
It's a smaller theropod.
Okay, so that makes
This
sense
is a
to
pack hunter, so it'd be a good flaw to have her distrustful of others.
me. Okay.
Wait, is
I like that.
Tracy's a compy, right?
I don't know. Nobody knows what Tracy is.
I said fuck it and I made her a compy.
I hope
She's
it's
either a
nice.
raptor or a compy, and it's a coin flip. That's what I've figured out. Fuck. Anyway, go ahead.
To have one of them be like an a long neck, like an Ampulosaurus.
I think that
Yeah,
would be one of the NCIS guys.
as you know, as long as
That works out.
and I'm
Which
I'm
one?
going to
I don't know which one it is. I'm not super familiar. Which one do you think is NCIS? Let me look at the NCIS detectives.
I honestly, it's been like 12 years since I've watched those shows. I have no clue what their names are anymore.
the only cop show that's actually fresh in my mind is Blue Bloods, because
For me, it's Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
yeah, that one too.
I feel like just looking at the main cast here. I'll throw it on stream. It's really weird to just be workshopping this, but if I grab this up, we're talking about your show. Chill out, NBC. Oh, McGee is the long neck, is what Monk says.
Oh, that makes sense.
I would say that this is just me, but for whatever reason, and I don't understand why, one of the most common OCs in the Snoot community is an Allosaur, and I do not understand why
It's
this
because
is.
Allosaur isn't used in the games. I
Is
mean,
that
neither
so?
is Megalosaur. So I took advantage of that, and I made an Irish boxer.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought
Iguanodon's not used either.
okay.
I like Iguanodon.
I
'cause they have
love
those thumb spikes.
Listen, I love Allosaurus. It's one of my favorite dinosaurs. But god dang, one of the
What
most
are-
common
what are-
OCs is.
what
yeah.
are the traits of McGee? Let me look this up.
I have no clue. I have no clue.
No clue?
What about like a Megalosaurus?
Yeah, Megalosaurus? I don't think that would fit for Monk. Maybe one of the NCIS guys, if they were just like a background thing, but who is the dateable character from NCIS? Who do your decisions
Which one?
actually matter with?
Which CIS NCIS?
NCIS,
Is that
Navy
is that-
Crimes Investigation Service.
is that the one? Is that the one with the quirky goth girl that's at the computers, or is that another one?
I have no clue.
Yeah, it appears to be.
Yeah, quirky goth girl. She's fun.
I mean, we could
So,
have her as a dateable
McGee-
option.
McGee specializes in computer crimes, it seems.
McGee is computer crimes and he's the long neck. I guess that
I
makes
swear to God,
sense. He
if
could have a range of motion to all the monitors in the room.
you're going to have, and this is just the thing that you're going to have. If this is a mod that you're
If
creating,
I make
correct?
this as a full game, I mean.
Okay, if you are making this as a full game, and this is going to be a NCIS or a
It's
crime
just-
scene, anything,
Detective.
this is what you're going to have to do. You are going to have to enhance the picture. You are going to have to blow up the picture. You're going to have to rotate it 140 degrees. You know that compilation on YouTube of the you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like
You're
that's
gonna
one of the
have
big
to have a
tropes.
segment like that. You're gonna have to break up all the fucking seriousness. That's what you're gonna have.
That would be
That's-
great, actually.
That would be insane.
Blow up the picture, digitally 3D analyze it.
Man, Lord knows
put
I
it through
couldn't-
Blender. Put it through Blender and make it do the gritty. You know, it's like
This is something that I just have to write the intro for on my own and like hand it off to somebody because I don't know where to fucking begin with this.
yeah.
So I think for like the last detective I can think of for Monk,
It's Monk. I think it'd be
Definitely-
Irby.
definitely Irby. Definitely nervous Irby. Some kind of neurotic, not quite confident herbivore.
Maybe a Protoceratops. No horns. Almost no frill.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Oh,
It's
actually,
interesting.
that'd be perfect. That would be perfect.
Wait, super what? Jumpy Irby?
Yes.
Very jumpy, very small. Has very little defense. I'll get you. I'll throw an image in chat.
Honestly, a Protoceratops would be actually kind of baller.
This thing. Doesn't that look so nervous looking and so gangly?
Wait, where's chat? I'm lost. One
In
second.
the recording
I'm pretty
chat.
sure I saw this thing get eaten by a T-Rex in one of those like walking the dinosaur flicks back in
Almost.
the day.
No doubt, no doubt. It looks so nervous, and it kind of looks like it has Monk's hairline anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly,
okay, one second.
yeah.
You can kind of see that, right?
Like with that kind of skin, like that kind of dull beige skin tone, put him in that brown suit Monk always wears. It fits out perfectly.
I mean,
Well, that
we
was
all
great.
know that Monk has an inquisitive mind and he's very nervous all the time.
Oh yeah,
But
always
he
on the
steps
lookout.
up when it counts, mind you.
Can we get anything smaller than the prototypes? Are we going like for midget? Are we was that or small? I don't know what to
I
call
mean,
them anymore.
diminutive is not necessarily midget. He's just scared and nervous all the time.
Okay. Iguanodon.
Iguanodon is fucking huge.
And they have
Oh.
massive thumb spikes for fighting.
Oh, that's
Fuck
right.
thumb,
That's
you miss,
right.
you get the thumb.
Yeah. Oh,
have
that's
a-
right. Okay,
I have
that's
a-
right.
I have an Iguanodon teacher in my Blackthorn fic that's based off of Pam Hoovy from Archer.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
great.
What would be a good nervous tick for a nervous proto-ceratops like this? Do you think?
I think there'd be a lot of beak clicking.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like that's a noise made to like scare people off, or
Mhm.
in hopes of there being something bigger around than just him.
Hmm.
I think as like a nervous click, you just hear
yeah,
click, click,
that-
click.
exactly. It's almost like that's that and yes, that would work perfectly.
And it could be that like there's not a lot of protoceratops around, so the instinctual urge to like make a circular shield around everything else is like overcoming him, and there's nothing else to make a shield with.
Lowering their head, lowering
Trying
their
to
head,
hide as much of their body behind the frill as possible.
the crest. Yeah. See, when it comes to Triceratops, the way that I have it, I don't know. This is just what I know. That's what I say with the way I have it. This is just what I know.
Triceratops are able to be more offensive, obviously, because they have those horns, and so they're not as nervous.
Yeah, and they get this itch behind their horns that make them instinctually lower their head to get ready for a lunging gore. When they get super pissed.
But the Protoceratops doesn't have the urge to lunge at
Yeah.
things. It shrinks
Yeah.
back to try and absorb whatever comes at it.
So you could have them. In a corner office that is located on a corner wall, with their backs to the wall.
So
If
that
you
people
want
can't come up behind him.
Exactly, and if they have to, they can ball up. If they have to go in defensive measures.
But he would also, if he's going to follow the monk archetype, would also be a widower of some time.
Okay.
Protoceratops are very rare, and that's what his wife was just another one.
That's interesting.
It'd be very sad. They're a dying breed.
Yeah, that it would be very sad, wouldn't it?
And if this is still like a detective romance, there is like a romance in Monk, if I remember correctly, where he's starting to open back up. So you could play the role for the priest character.
At the last season, I think so, actually.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember watching that in the break room when I worked for a certain company.
Yeah. Cool. So,
Yeah.
is that all the detectives?
I think that's all of that's all the dating options is Scully, McGee, and Monk.
There you go.
Now, how do we make this legally distinct, and what case do we have him on that would require both the FBI and a private eye to come help the regular police department?
Well, the FBI gets involved if anything goes beyond state lines. So, multi-state, some kind of crime, terror, whatever it is,
But
that's
at
how the
that
FBI
point, they
gets
take
involved.
over from. They wouldn't be there to help.
Well, when the FBI gets involved, they typically take over. They don't really help out.
Yeah, they don't help out. So there's some cases like that. If it's like a federal crime, yeah, the FBI will come in.
You
So-
might have to do some. You might have to do some research on like what jurisdictions cause what kind of control for FBI to get involved. Honestly,
Or I could say, in the wonderful world of Dinofornia, many things happen.
honestly,
Make something up
yeah,
that sounds plausible.
yeah, make it the fuck up. Like make it like a fraud ring.
Yeah,
Of,
and then
kind of currency.
Monk coming in isn't like private eyes do get called in every now and then, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't take stuff over. It's more like, hey, help us gather intel.
You could also have just personalized missions per detective as well.
True, but I mean, I like the idea of an overwhelming or an overarching plot with all of them coming together.
Also true.
Maybe
Ooh.
like they're all on separate cases, but there's just like something that ties them together or something. Maybe some mob thing.
honestly, like an
mob thing in the
overarching,
background.
yeah,
The,
overarching and singular would actually work out pretty well, I think.
Gotta always remember that the mob is intrinsically tied to the police department. Always in any universe. Well, in any universe. But if you want to make it, if you want to make a living, breathing, you know,
Maybe Matilda does not, or not Matilda. Madeline doesn't like the fact that there's that much corruption. And,
Yeah,
and her
but
shiny rock syndrome would drive her to try and drive out the mob from the.
you got the cops. You got the cops that dwell on the lights. And then you got the ones with the badges usually can't touch where the shadows go. Blah blah. And that's where you got. That's where you got. And that's where you got the mob. And that's where you got the mob to Rip calls Mo up, shit like that. Says, do you have any garbage duty that needs cleaning out? You know?
Yeah. Well, like that'd be like an interesting thing that you could utilize Monk to try and drive out the mob from the thing. You could learn just to accept it if you go NCIS.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not NCIS, but the
I
regular
feel
police route.
like they need each other in some sort of way because they
Some
are
way
at
to
the end
at
of the
least cope with the issue of the corruption happening.
mm-hmm.
Beyond,
because
like,
at the end of the day,
I don't know if I'm going to
You
use
could
it.
go with an Emmy, and the Emmy is my friend, and say the mob is helping them drive out a cartel.
yeah, definitely because you have they are both the same coin, just different sides. Basically, that's how it is in real life. That's typically how it is in fiction. But that it's just one of those things where it is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That is 100%. It's a symbiotic relationship that they share with each other.
Yeah, and beyond that, like, how do we make the decision of why these are the 3 dating options, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we connect those together? Which of Madeline's traits would drive her to each one?
That is something I think you've got to slowly come up with yourself, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's when you're developing the romance aspects, you have to define who they are at their core, and then you could work outward.
Yeah, and it can't be all the same. It's
I
gotta be
have
different somehow.
I have thoroughly deconstructed Lucy Aaron as a person.
Aegon is
Down
attracted
to-
to Lucy because of how fiery she was. That's the start of attraction. That's the spark.
Mm-hmm. How
And then Inko felt attraction to Olivia, I think, based off of talent and how she knew who she was.
exactly? I have. It's just then you could add after you have their core aspects, what drives them. Then you can focus on matters of the heart. But you have to really, really delve into that one yourself if you're going to go ahead and you could use references, sure, but like at the same time, if you want to make them completely wholly their own people, that's what you have to do. Took me a while to get the dynamic of Fang and Anon just right. But yeah.
I get what you're putting down.
Yeah, I think at their very core, they are both dorks, 100%. But yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry, I'm rambling.
I was going to say, like, it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you, Oates. Sounds like you got some things to work with.
Well, I like this workshop is a good way to like delve into how you two both process things and how you build things. Whether or not I actually use it or not, it's a maybe. It's a strong, considerable maybe. It's just interesting. Like, the next thing is like, how do you, like, if you're making a new place? But I don't remember if either of you have made new places for your fix. When you're making a new place that's beyond the existing setting, how do you start there?
I did.
When it comes to Rock Bottom,
All there is a name.
my Rock Bottom isn't Rock Bottom canon. Apparently, Rock Bottom is only like 5 miles away in Canada. I didn't buy that one bit. That's no.
Didn't
Okay.
he say shipped across the country?
No, they didn't. I don't think they did. I think Kavanon actually said Cannon Rock Bottom is supposed to be Redding, California.
Wait, really?
That's not.
Yeah.
That's not a huge shipping off thing.
No, it's literally
5
just
miles. That's
or
walkable.
or no, it's
50?
not 5
Rock
miles.
bottom on the
It's-
East Coast.
Yeah, it's in California, and California is big. So that's apparently Cannon Rock Bottom is supposed to be based on Redding. And I said, "No. That's horseshit. We're making Rock Bottom a shithole. Welcome to Chicago or the Midwest somewhere." So
for new places, though,
in my Rock Bottom, I made it in the middle of fucking nowhere. That's wherever you want Kansas, basically. That's wherever the hell you want. Hell, it could be Sedalia, for Christ's sake.
It's funny you bring up Kansas because I live in Kansas.
Yeah, but it's
Also-
misery here. So boo
Oh, you
weeds.
live in Missouri?
Yeah,
'Cause
corn
I-
lead.
Yeah, I
Oh,
go
well,
over there
yeah, I'm
quite
in
often
Arkansas.
to visit my aunt and uncle.
I'm your neighbor, Bear. I'm in Arkansas.
Oh fuck yeah, man.
We're all Midwest bros unite.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of southern.
CMT, it's the correct time zone. It's corn time zone. That's how it is. We
Corn
live by the
time.
corn. We die by the corn.
Yeah, for me, I'm in the Ozarks, so it's all about.
Fuck yeah, corn!
The Ozarks, man. That's,
Yeah, the Ozarks is like where you put the
Man,
put the corn into hooch. That's how you make moonshine.
Yeah,
Hell
I live in
yeah,
the Flint
corn,
Hills, dog.
corn liquor,
Flint Hills.
Yeah.
Take a wild fucking guess what's here.
hills,
Flint.
nothing. Yeah,
Nothing. It's Kansas. It's nothing.
it's nothing. It's flat. It's. Oh
I
god.
never believed that meme until I fucking drove through that place to get to Colorado. God, I
Yes.
hated
Oh my
Kansas.
god, isn't that crazy? Because you go across Kansas. It's 500 fucking miles of corn and wheat. There's nothing. There's not. Literally, there was a gigantic billboard on the side of the highway that said, "Come and pet the rattlesnakes. They will not bite. Come and see
That's-
the world's largest donut."
God, that's hilarious.
It's hilarious, and it became a running gag in my family. Come and see the rattlesnakes.
For me, it was seeing the Rockies in the distance from Kansas and seeing the Rockies 3 hours later from Kansas.
Yeah,
That's what broke me.
come and see the hissing cockroaches. It's like
Kansas exists as a monument to all of your sins, and god damn it, I love being here.
Why do you think astronauts love leaving the planet? It's because they came from Kansas.
That's right.
Like, literally, the highest concentration of astronauts successfully out in orbit come from fucking Kansas.
That's great.
Well, it's because we have such a clear view of the stars.
Oh,
I
God.
wonder what's out there. And there's fucking nothing around me. I may as well go to where there's shit happening.
just- Give me mountains, give me snow, give me ice. I don't want to go back to goddamn Texas or Kansas ever again.
I mean, we have snow and ice.
Don't. Not snow and ice here in Missouri. Oh my god, the humidity fucking sucks when it comes to snow and ice.
At least you got the fucking big ass lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah,
Fucking Osage Beach and whatnot.
Mm,
Bagnall Dam.
yeah.
Yep, and we get to
But no.
shoot wild hogs sometimes. When they
But
come too close.
for Rock Bottom, I just said, fuck it. We're in the middle of nowhere, Kansas. That's what we're doing.
Hell
Yeah, like to add on
Well,
to
to
the
be
And that's
fair,
why. And that's
also-
why.
hold on,
And that's
you-
why. And that's why I made Rock Bottom mostly a human and a human and simian settlement, because you think about it, the first winter, the Saurian is going to freeze to death, because
yeah.
I just use a little bit of common sense when it comes to
full
cold.
blast.
Yeah, and you look at it from a cold-blooded perspective. Anything below 60 degrees would just absolutely be mind-numbingly bullshit.
All right, hold on. I don't think all dinosaurs were cold-blooded.
Yeah, I know
a fair
that.
amount
but-
became birds.
yeah, I don't think Fang would be cold-blooded if that would be the case. Correct?
Pterosaur died off as an evolutionary pathway, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were cold-blooded. I think.
Okay.
What is it like? I think it was in Strands and Strings that they mentioned that
The theropods were
Judy
warm-blooded.
was a. was a warm-blooded dino, and that's why Finland has so many dinos. Is because they're
Oh,
warm-blooded.
that's right. That's the puppet girl. The hell's her
Judy.
name? Help me. Thank you.
Ornithomyopod's probably warm-blooded as well, because they do
Yeah.
become.
Now, what is
They're like
schizo?
rat types. What?
What is schizo?
She's a copy.
Yeah.
Copy.
Okay, got it. Yeah. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, just like make things work out how you want to. I made Rock Bottom pretty close to New York, and
Yes.
it just kind of said New York is where all the veterans from all the old wars across Pangea went, and that's why
Yeah.
it sucks.
And now,
Yeah.
evidently, I'm mixing so many genres and so many places. Where, like, so if I want to choose somewhere to be, we'll say, like, I want a base in, like, oh, fuck it, we'll say Portland, Oregon. How do you fucking snootify a place like that?
Wait a second. I think the Mystery Jack actually did that.
Portland?
Is either Portland or
I
Seattle?
don't, listen, I'm not from Portland, I never want to go to Portland, I just know it's a place where crime happens.
Yeah,
And
it
there's a lot
does.
of
Crime
corruption.
happens in every city. Crime happens everywhere, dude.
It's St. Louis. St. Louis is the leading.
Oh, no, yeah, no, St. Louis is probably better.
No,
it's
St. Louis
not.
is worse.
No,
St.
St.
Louis
Louis
is
is
actually
better
worse.
for... Hold on. St. Louis is better for the sake of the setting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, but St. Louis. Have you ever been to St. Louis?
I have been to St. Louis, but I have family that lives in St. Louis. It sucks.
That shit's scary.
I hate being there. The Ark is kind of cool.
One second. I'm going to go ahead and pop in a meme, and you're going to play it for everybody to laugh at.
The Ark is kind of cool, I guess.
I have felt more safe in fucking New Orleans than I have St. Louis.
Dog, somebody
No.
threatened to stab me to death in New Orleans.
There you go. Here you go.
Great.
Here's a la funny la ha ha. Here you go.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, go ahead and pop it in. Play it. There's no music.
Here I am at Jefferson in fucking Washington.
Oh, potholes! I
hold on.
love potholes.
Yeah,
Hold on,
no.
let's get it
Come to misery. Your entire car will be swallowed up. Craters, sinkholes.
Let me fucking grab this goddamn thing. Worst potholes in America. Let me fucking drag it in.
St. Louis City. Here I am at
If
Jefferson
you go
in
with
fucking
a
Washington.
certain zomboid game, we could make a Survivor version of
Here I
Knoxville.
am, calling up Washington and Jefferson, so that now when you're
Knoxville,
going down,
Kentucky.
instead of going but you go don't.
1 year later, and this is what community.
I haven't
is all
seen
about,
anybody
folks.
touch
10
Kentucky
million
yet.
views of us combined
Or we
later.
could go to
And here
Mississippi,
we go.
Gulfport.
Perfectly fixed. I'm so inspired. I
True.
feel like
Well,
maybe
I've
humanity.
we're
been
doing
here
can
before.
NCIS. We need somewhere
Never
with
mind.
a port. 'Cause
Gulfport
they're
has a
Navy.
port.
And then there.
Gulfport opens into the Gulf of Mexico.
And that's where we're going to have the cartel connection. Yeah.
Okay, so I will say, so there is a restaurant in the middle of Mississippi. I will recommend right now. If you go through Macomb, Mississippi, it is a know-nothing town, by the way. There is a restaurant called The Dinner Bell. The Dinner Bell is an old plantation house that has been converted to a restaurant. Inside are 3 20-person seated Lazy Susans tables. Each table, you will sit next to your neighbor, you will not say a thing, and when you sit down, you will see a smorgasbord of food. You will pick up the food off the platter. If you try to just use a spoon, you will be yelled at. If you only want something to drink, you got sweet tea and water. No other options. But by God, you will walk out of there fat, happy, and tired because they serve some of the best homemade food I have ever had at a restaurant.
I think I've been there. When
There
I was
we
very
go.
young.
There's a restaurant downtown in downtown Kansas City where it
You live in
where it
Kansas
does
City.
where it is a gigantic Lazy Susan. It's a
My
gigantic
family
Lazy Susan
is
restaurant.
Kansas City located, native Kansas City. I just happen to live in Jonestown now.
Yeah.
In the flattest spot of Kansas, in the flattest fucking stretch I live.
Oh, surprise. You're in Kansas. It's flat.
This is the flattest section, besides going
Yeah.
out by Hayes.
You know, I was surprised. Surprisingly, Jeff City in Missouri is a very hilly city.
Yeah.
Like I did not expect that out of Missouri.
Misery is hills. Misery is hills. There's hills in Missouri. That's what we have to offer.
Listen, in the state of
And
Missouri, frowning is the state sport.
Yeah.
That's not untrue.
What is it?
Frowning
I thought
is
it
your
was.
state sport.
I thought it was. I thought it was the Kansas City Chiefs, baby. I thought that's what it was. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh God,
No, we
Bears,
share
Jesus
that.
Christ.
You don't get to claim it.
That's right. It's shared ownership.
Well, we have
that's
shared
the one.
ownership of the city.
It's the one thing that we have to share is the Chiefs. Right
Hey,
now, so,
my state has a bunch
Kansas
of
City
wild
is older
hogs.
than
as-
both states.
yeah.
Well, I mean, is that much of a bragging point to have?
I'm just saying it's older than both states. It was from before they were territories at that point, but it's
Yeah.
older than both states. Technically,
Yeah, so
it belonged to the Kansas territory.
This is
first.
the reason why it's interesting.
That's why it's called
when-
Kansas City.
When people think of Kansas City, people don't really think it might be a really big city. It's the metro that makes it huge. The metro is what makes Kansas City actually fucking mammoth in scale, because it spans into
So fucking far.
so fucking
It's in
far
like
into both
6
states.
counties, man.
Six
it takes
count-
over 6 counties entirely.
It does.
Where it's
Gigantic.
nothing but city, and it's
It's-
only Kansas City. It's one city
it's-
for 6 counties.
and it's not giant skyscrapers. It's out. It's spread out. It's like you go for miles and you're still in Kansas City, and there's
Yeah.
just a bunch of strip malls.
Yeah.
That's
I get
Kansas City.
It's great.
It's great. It's great. There's
It's
so much
amazing.
shit. There's so much shit.
If you
There's
want
so
your
much shit to see.
skyscrapers, there's a very small area where you get them.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
build skyscrapers out here. It's far too windy.
Yeah, no, in the Kansas City proper, it's like it's the main downtown, but no, go out into the metro, and then that's where you get the cool shops.
That's where the cool shit. Yeah, it's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Go to Oak Park.
Yeah, Oak Park, man. Oh, it's so cool.
That's a Kansas City.
I forgot you two are just going to just nerd out about Kansas City.
You want me to do it? I'll do it.
No, it's not.
I can
No.
talk.
This is the Dino fucking chat. Don't do that.
Or we could do it St. Louis. We could have it Kansas City, so it's close to me. It could be in Gulfport.
Yeah, it's great. And don't forget barbecue.
We invented the good barbecue.
We invented. I'll fight people. I'll fight fucking people.
We invented the good barbecue. You know that brown barbecue sauce? That comes from here.
That's right.
Fuck you, fuck your life. Sweet Baby Ray's, nothing on this shit, man. This
Right.
shit ain't nothing to me, man.
I can't-
It was the
Actually,
largest cattle processing town in the United States for so goddamn long. And you know
And you
what?
could-
They sold the undesirable cuts to other people. They became the desirable cuts because we knew how
You
to
know what
fucking
you could
cook
do?
them.
You know what you could do with your simian character? You could have her like nerd out about fucking rock bottom all the time.
Nerd out about fucking whatever thing is local to her hometown.
Yeah. For example, for example, going to the store in sunny California and finding out that steak is like, however, a bunch. But over here in Kansas, it's just a little bit cheaper because of the surrounding farms.
It's all
And-
farms.
Yeah, and that could be a huge culture shock if she a relatively fresh transfer.
Oh yeah, she'd be a transfer out of KC to whatever.
That
shore
could
town.
be that could 100% be a culture shock. Bleh. Culture shock.
She'd try to go without meat for like a while just to or
Yeah.
without steak because she's like, this is ungodly expensive. I'm not getting paid
Yeah.
all that much more.
This is outrageous. This is unfair. You know.
This is insane.
Yeah. Why is
Why
You
is
know,
why is this cut of beef so expensive?
hell? She could also if you're wanting to do modern twist on, like for example 2024, how expensive gas is. You could also have her walk places or take the bus instead of having a car because of the gas prices.
I think she'd be a cyclist.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I
go.
think she'd be like somebody who liked riding a motorcycle.
There you go. That's
There you go. That's awesome.
100%. That's what I have for Carla. or at least she jacked
Dig
Sue's
it.
bike. She jacked his bike. She jacked her husband's bike. Love that fucking idea of Sue just walking out
Just
of the restroom.
sitting
It's like
biker bitches. Hell yeah.
just walking out of the restroom and just fucking Carla again.
At this
That's
point,
great.
he's got to get her own bike, I think.
Yeah,
Shit's expensive.
yeah.
And you don't really have the money for it, and you spend it all on alcohol.
Nope, you really don't. And that's the thing. That's the thing that really. God, I want to do chapter 16, but I have to do the opening chapters again because I want to be able to appreciate my own fucking story before I can move on.
What kind of bike do you think Madeline would have?
Harley, a Harley,
I'm
100%.
talking Madeline.
Oh no, a Harley.
Why do you think of Harley? I think she'd be like maybe one of those cafe racer type bikes.
Oh, you think? Ow. I just like Harleys. That's just my personal bias. Sorry.
Depends. Would she want to look badass on an actual like motorbike, or would she want to be healthy on a speed touring bike?
Or would she want to be like economically aware and just say fuck it and have a moped?
I'm not touching no fucking moped with this. That's heresy.
No, you could like go the middle route and go have an electric bike.
Or a mini bike? No, don't.
Mini bikes aren't street legal.
No,
that's are they? What?
They're not street
they're
legal.
not.
Oh. Wait.
Well, it's California. There'd be bike paths too, like pedal bike paths.
Wait.
I think she would still see utility in having a motorized vehicle.
Dirt bike?
Some of those are street legal.
Interesting.
Some
That would
are.
be interesting. And if I still think dirt bike would be an interesting.
Be an
Oh,
interesting
here you go.
choice.
Have a motorbike with a passenger like attachment to it.
Oh,
there you go.
I don't think the sidecars aren't really made for modern bikes anymore, but they have like an extra seat on the back with like a backrest for it. I don't know, maybe like a Goldwing or Honda Goldwing.
What about
You know what? I don't know anything about bikes, so I'll defer to your judgment.
What about the bike? She could be a vintage collector like Tom Cruise is.
That's why I brought up Cafe Racer,
Okay.
which is like a British type of deal.
Yeah.
I don't think that she's necessarily super James bringing up dual sports, but I don't think she's like super Americana focused necessarily. Okay. She's just like what's cool to her.
Okay.
To go with shiny rocks in them, she's not like super like I have to be America. I think she'd be quite happy
if we're
driving
going
a
with
British
rule
bike.
of cool, we could go with a Yamaha or Honda.
If we're going with the ultimate cool, we're going with
so you're saying use my real life motorcycle that I'm rebuilding, the Honda CB750 from 1976 Model K?
Yeah, either retro or your modern rice rocket.
I'm just gonna say fucking the world. 1 second. 1 second. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, are you looking it up?
The Harley Davidson WLA, 100%. If you're gonna go for the ultimate cool, there you go. It's
I
World
feel
War
like
II.
that might be too big for her.
Yeah, but like that's literally the
I
ultimate
don't
cool.
imagine that she would be a huge woman.
Let me get what I'm talking about. Like a Yamaha YZF or YZF R1, something like that.
Yeah, that would work. That would be cool.
Yeah, your quintessential rice rocket.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool. You got I like that actually.
So the CB750 has a reputation. The reputation is that it's a clean bike. It does not drip oil. It does not leak anything. It does not spew coolant. It is a bike for somebody who can wear a suit on top of the bike.
Would she do an e-bike?
Maybe.
That's what I said earlier. I say e-bike.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, what's the range? And what's the use of this? I'm sure if they wanted her to be like on patrol or be a bike cop, they'd supply her a bike for that. But for her personal use,
they do.
For her personal use, what would it be?
Well, in California, you don't. I mean, like I'm imagining, you don't really need to go fast. You just need to go distance, and e-bikes give you.
That's why I like the CB750. Is it's not. It's a general touring bike. It's pretty efficient. It can get out of its own way.
But also, I mean, is she economic? Does she maybe not want to spend money on gas and constant repairs?
It could
Is
be
sh-
one of those neurotic things where it's like, I don't really like electric vehicles. They don't make enough noise.
does
Because
she
there is
own
a
a
very
home?
primal factor for people who still drive combustion
Does she have a
engines as
house, or
principal.
does she have an apartment complex?
I don't think she'd own a house in California quite yet. Or
Okay.
wherever. Like, if she is a fresh transfer, she wouldn't necessarily have a house.
Got to think about the parking garage as well. Then
Yeah, well, like, what... A parking garage might not necessarily have a place for her to charge an e-bike, but then again, a lot of those you can, like, take the battery out and bring it inside.
mm-hmm.
In
True,
some
true,
cases,
true.
at least. But with those, they have reduced range.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I like this.
You hear me going major autism about many things.
No,
about
no,
utility
this
of
is-
things.
this
Gas
is great.
still attainable. That's like I want to say a 3-gallon tank is what it is. And it's got, or no, it's not 3, it's 5. Getting like, I want to say 30 to the gallon. It's a bike from the 70s. And like, it might be something primal that she does not like silent vehicles because they're scary.
That's what I have issue with. With when it comes to electronic vehicles, how the fuck are you supposed to tell until they're right up on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird.
People, so they pipe in artificial noise, artificial engine noise to make you more comfortable because it isn't comfortable to have no noise.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
No, it is very uncomfortable for just to see the vehicle moving around and it has no noise to identify itself.
Every engine
Yeah.
is very unique in how it sounds.
Yes,
I've learned.
and to have it just to have just what
No sound
tires.
is terrifying.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
road only.
And you also have to realize that each EV is also like 2,000 pounds more heavy than a regular car because of the fucking gigantic lithium battery underneath, and then you have to worry about the fire combustion at. Holy shit! you know.
So if we go with like a cafe racer design, Rock, what would it be a good justification for why she sticks with this beyond just not liking how there's no sound out of EVs?
Talking about emotional or a intellectual
Any
standpoint?
sort of standpoint, it might be very emotional to her.
Could it be physical?
Maybe it's because there's a bit more freedom in relying on a powered vehicle. Like an instinct to kind of just go fast and get away whenever need be. Such as why this person left Kansas City in the first place and accepted the transfer. Get away, go fast, go hard.
Get to Gulfport.
It could be.
No.
It could.
Okay.
Could it be physical? For example, if instead of if she does not like EVs, it could be the feeling of lack of power as she starts up and revs the throttle. There's the lack of the revving feeling that the gas the traditional gas powered bikes would provide that I don't think that the EVs would.
It could also
could
be something that she enjoys working on things constantly.
Mhm. And
Like it might be just going on top of what you're saying here. It could be a more meditative thing.
I could also, since she's a simian, I could only imagine a repair shop run by simians called the Grease Monkey.
Yeah.
Like, and I can also see that as a slur at the same time. And I absolutely almost want Feng to say that by accident when Anon is doing something with the NASCAR and call him a Grease Monkey.
No,
Fuck, that'd be hilarious.
finding slurs is also a very fun exercise for creating your characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like I go with, say, Tree Hopper for simians or Banana Muncher.
There is yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm just going to say, like, sometimes you can find out the best way to personify characters if you figure out what's their favorite slur or what's a good slur against them that sets them off.
I don't think we're going to be throwing slurs at Monk
For long necks,
For-
for long necks, one that I have is rubberneck.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's actually something.
Tree stripper.
You have
Ooh,
the
tree
living
zipper. Tree dancer.
licorice sticks or licorice whips. You have all sorts of things that you could just go nuts with. You have bendy necks. You have let's see here. I actually have a list here.
I would
actually.
go into just call them bendy straws.
Yeah, bendy straws.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah,
I'm from
rubbernecks.
Kansas, there's not much to think of. but
For stegos, of course, the walnut brain.
the
would
real popularized
100%.
idea. Yes.
Featherback for tarot. Bird brain, pinhead. We got all sorts of things,
Going
man.
back to Stegos, fucking like Ripperback.
Yeah. I don't know how for ankylosaurs, fucking thumper, a thud. You could call him a thud.
Stutter.
For the sound of their club swinging on the club
Beat
swingers
stick?
as well. Yeah,
Call him a thudder. Like, just putting an ER on something, it just makes it sound way worse.
yeah, it does, doesn't it? Why does it do that?
Because it's really close to that one slur. We all
It really
know.
is. It is for human skin suits,
Cracker.
skin back,
Mhm.
smooth
That'd be
skin,
fun.
smooth
We
skins. I
could-
love that.
We could use Cracker for Apatosaurus.
Leather face, handies.
Wallet.
Yeah, fucking
Handbag.
Handbag. Yeah.
soft skins. It's like all sorts of stuff, man. But yeah, no, there's just go nuts, and and if something just makes you go ooh, that would actually piss her off, or that would actually piss off this character. That's usually a good indication that you have something.
Yeah, like you don't have to use everything you come up with.
No, but like,
So,
Think about something.
well, you could say something how she fucking fell out of a tree.
yeah,
There you go. Phrases are also good.
Branch
Yeah.
dropper.
yeah.
Jumping from vine swinger.
Vine swinger is a good one. Yeah. So yeah, it's big ears. I mean, that's an observation, but still, it could be
You
a
also say something just like
Flea
very
bitten.
disparaging, like,
banana
You just-
muncher.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I said banana muncher earlier.
Yeah. No,
What about
flea-bitten, or flea-ridden thing?
Yeah,
flea-ridden thing is great. Also, saying someone like an ape, you say to an ape, you look like you have poor fur, or something similar to that, like bad hygiene.
yeah.
Fucking coarse fur.
Ooh, snaggle fur.
I think they'd like to have their fur stay soft.
Berries. Tubers.
You could call going to the ER a matter for a simian for matted hair.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's a good one.
Matted hair would be a very good insult. Work that in way because that would just
Do you
imagine
think
how
people would call her Matter instead of Maddie or Matted?
I think Maddie makes more sense.
Matt, or just call her Matt. They know what that
Mads.
means.
Mads is a good neutral one.
Yeah, just Matt as a general out there slur.
I think it would hit this woman a lot harder since her name is already Madeline.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? So
There you
you go. But meh. Speaking of, I found something a long time ago back in Snoot Club. It was in Snoot House, and it was this insane fucking copy pasta.
Why would you go to Snoot House? That place is
I
great.
don't know. It struck the mood. I felt like being miserable one day. Okay, hey, we all have those days, right?
I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back.
I guess that makes sense.
1 second. Copy pot. There we go. I found this, and holy shit! It updated every once in a while before the guy got banned, or left, or did something. But here you go. Have fun with this. This
Oh,
is
that's so
all.
tiny.
This is
Fucking
sorry,
God, all right.
This is
Let me. I will read this aloud for a stream. How can a bunch of eye-licking, egg-laying, rough-back, mite-bitten, flaky-ass, moon-headed, long-lipped, botulism, breath, bone-crunching, tree-munching, paper-eared, dirty-clawed, two-tongued, yellow-eyed, peanut-brained, feather-preening, tail-dragging, leather-faced, candy-striped, fat-nosed, long-toed, sharp-toothed, spiny-ass, fucking lizards possibly give live birth? It's just unnatural since they weren't made in God's image.
See, there you go. If you
Wow, that is sharp. I like that.
isn't that great? Isn't that great? So if you want somebody just absolutely out there in terms of just dino racism, that's what you got.
Man, I love this. Just
That's like
it's
somebody
such a-
that's like something Cletus would say from Rock Bottom.
it's
or-
such common like words stringed together to be just absolutely disparaging.
The thing is, this guy fucking he said it like 17 times and it just kept getting worse.
Really?
Yeah. No, go back, search his
Outstanding.
username. Search his username. It's like
That shit's great. Good
it's
God.
great. Yeah, no, just it kept adding on. So I used that. So I actually used which one did I use in chapter 13?
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Yeah, I
I'm
used
looking at
one
this
of them.
insult. Amazing. Out fucking standing bears. Thanks for grabbing this
Yeah.
to my attention.
No
Yeah,
problem.
you just missed it when I read it out loud in one sentence. That was great.
Yeah, you
So,
literally
shall I do it again? How can a bunch of eye-licking, egg-laying, rough-back, mite-bitten, flaky-ass, moon-headed, long-lipped, botulism breath, bone-crunching, tree-munching, paper-eared, dirty-clawed, two-tongued, yellow-eyed, peanut-brained, feather-preening, tail-dragging, leather-faced, candy-striped, fat-nosed, long-toed, sharp-toed, spiny-ass fucking lizards possibly give birth? It's unnatural, since they were made in God's image.
You gotta do it with the Cletus accent.
I could do that.
Oh God.
I could do that, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
Is it
I know.
Cletus or is it Ruckus?
It would either. Oh God, it could be. Oh Jesus, it could be an Uncle Ruckus character say that.
It would be very much an Uncle Ruckus character to say.
It would, wouldn't
Oh.
it?
Oh yeah,
It's like-
speaking of like just random characters introduced in Snoot Club are fucking impossible sometimes to write. It's a quick tangent, sorry, but Xavier Renegade Angel is bullcrap to write. Just
It's you have to really think about the gluggle jug. Glugged. Certainly, you have gluggled your glass jug, Smoothrock.
For me, okay. For context, I put the Xavier bit much longer in my Walt fic.
Yeah.
I had to spend an hour watching Xavier Renegade Angel clips to figure out how to make his voice sound right.
What do you call these monkeys?
You lose, you lose, you snooze. So therefore, you lost, you snost. Yeah.
I call them wiggers. Oh God, I say
caught
that
this
word.
one
I
staring
don't know
saucy
how-
at my mistress.
I don't know how Monkey Anon can fucking do Xavier. It's a mystery that'll never be known, man.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Alright.
I still don't know what he was, and he's probably just an amalgamation of things. And there's you go. There's you a hybrid slur, by the way, amalgamation.
Oh, that's a good one.
No, I have a fucking list here actually.
So I will say, God, some characters hurt to write. Like I've done Xavier, and I fucking hated it. I am eager to write Ruckus. I am very eager to write Uncle Ruckus, the character.
And
It's going to be fantastic.
I just gave you a nuclear bomb to write it with.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, this is gonna be fantastic.
Hold on, I could
Good.
probably... No, I'm not going to do that. That'd be a bad idea to do his voice.
Oh God, don't do that.
I could do it Mickey Mouse style.
Oh God, don't! You'll get sued by Disney. Don't do that.
You did say the name.
Yeah. Oh, good lord. Yeah.
I think we got bigger fish to fry.
lizards. Yeah.
Zoinks lizards? Like they're not made in God's image.
Oh God. Oh my. You know what? Reed going on a hell of a carf trip and him
Oh,
him
boy.
seeing him looking in the mirror, and he's a fucking human. But he's
That
oh my god! I just oh, I want to write
Nope.
that now.
Yo,
Actually, no,
dude,
wait.
I'm a fucking skinny now.
Whoa, man.
Radical.
I gotta call up Anon. I gotta call Anon right now. And do I get skinny
Monk
powers?
says to call a hybrid a road crossing.
Can I say the S word now, man?
dude, I'm a flamer.
My spirit chakra now.
I'm a flamer.
What's up, my Skinner?
Oh god, that's worse.
Oh, it's like, but it's like, God, it's so fun. It's so fun. Certain characters are just stupid fun to write, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Other characters are just.
I should
I am-
probably ask how
I was-
do we write an end? How do we write an end to a route or of any sort of thing? Have you thought about those? Or
Oh,
have you just been
yes.
holding it right continuously forever?
Oh no, I have an end for Walt in mind. I definitely have an end. I have an end for Walt. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, that's my fault.
Sorry, so I'm going to quickly say I have an end mind in goal for We All Live Together. I know exactly how it's going to go. And I know people are going to be confused considering it's Polly. And, people don't really... I have a mixed bag of people who say Fang X Naomi X Anon doesn't work, but I say, fuck you, I'm going to make it work. So, there's that. And with Return to Monkey, yeah, I know it's going to happen. But at the same time, it's just a matter of, can I make this make sense? Because shit has to happen that makes everything both bad and great towards the end. And the in-between is kind of the challenging part sometimes.
See, when it comes to Sweet Memories, I have a vague idea of how I want to wrap it up. I have a vague idea of how I want to transfer or how I want to snap into the second part. And whether the third part has... I think I have... That's the problem. That would be the biggest problem of Sweet Memories, was the lack of planning. And you could probably see how that works through the chapters. And then this happens. That's how Sweet Memories reads to me. And I don't like that. And that's what the rewrite's all about. It's because then this happens. But that's also part of the magic of Sweet Memories. It's like, this is fucking stupid. No. They wouldn't do that. Who am I kidding? Of course Fang has gold star stickers in her desk upstairs and gives it to Anon for a job well done. Are you kidding me? That's how half of the shit in Sweet Memories actually plays out.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the ending goal, that's on the horizon. That's way out there. But my problem is, you probably noticed Mr. Big Chapters, as some might call me.
Yeah,
You write
I've seen
a
Spawn
lot.
have panic attacks talking about you before.
How do you?
Let me show you. Let me give you the meme. 1 second. Let me give you the meme. I got the meme right here. Edit Sweet Memories. Make him edit Sweet Memories. No, please.
How do you cap off something? How do you decide? All right, this is how the route's gone so far. How do you decide? This
Zero
is it?
clue. Zero clue.
So
I have no idea how to wrap things up. That's my problem.
So, okay, I can explain a little bit more. So, do you want to know general scope or singular goals in mind?
We'll start with general, and we can go into singular in a little bit.
So, general scope, I just kind of think backwards from like how it all started. I kind of go with the concept of, okay, I want to make a fic where Anon goes to the gym and is absolutely fucking jacked. Okay, what's that going to mean in the end for me? I think, okay, well, who's going to end up with? Cool, let's go with that family dynamic at the very end. What are we going to do career-wise? Cool, I have that in mind. How am I going to build up to that? And I slowly start getting more and more of how I'm going to work up to that, and I go for the middle bits. Like, for instance, in the most recent chapter of We All Lift, I put Swan's character of Daniel in there, which was great fun after I made sure Swan was okay with it in general. Because I thought, oh, hey, what if my boy just had someone who was a role model, wasn't toxic, a fellow human, and, well, like a feather fiend as well. So he goes in and goes, yeah, I could see probably a life where I kind of get more so into lifting, maybe. What does that mean for me? And in the background, I'm thinking, I know exactly where this is going to go now. So it's just more so you try to figure out what placement in the story your reasoning for where the end comes from. That's how I planned out Walt. That's how I know how Return to Monkey's going to go. And it's sort of still figuring out in my head for Blackthorn at the moment. Barrel of Moose, also actually, no, I got that too. Yeah, me and Swan came up with some ending ideas together already.
If I was to look at Megaloboxing and say like what the round of goals is, he gets the girl, the specific woman I've handcrafted for him. He wins his like final like title match to show that he's actually worth his salt for something. Those are like the two main goals, right? And then like all the side stuff like would get resolved, like his dad might get like better medical care to help him survive or something. That little stuff, like I have those very basis ideas of where I want to go, and I have a few plot beats in between now and then that I know I want. Like I want him to have like his part of his jaw like get hit in the jaw really fucking hard and lose a tooth permanently, like destroy the root bed. So even if Saurians can generally like grow more teeth, he can no longer grow teeth from that spot.
Right.
And like have something in Megalosaur culture where like they present a tooth to whoever they're planning on marrying and make it into jewelry or something.
Yes. Wani lore. Okay, so I will say that's actually really good to have in the first place. You know what your general themes are. That's good. You don't need to have everything right away. Sometimes this stuff can come to you later down the road before you even put out, say, chapter 3 or 4. You don't need every answer right away. You can have a general idea, and depending on how you build it up from there, your ending can come to you naturally. As long as you take notes. That's my thing. I take notes. I suggest taking notes. That helps.
Whatever the stream of consciousness provides me.
It does. It does.
At some point.
Noted. Like in Inko. Speaking of Wani lore, or actually, you're right. Notes and Spark notes especially have been a huge help for the rewrite chapters and planning out major happenings in coming chapters after chapter 15 in Sweet Memories. This is the main point of Sweet Memories. If you were to boil down the message, is proper communication and talking about all the bad shit that you don't want to do is vital for a healthy relationship. That's it.
Yeah.
If you want to boil down your message to there it is. That's it.
Yeah, I think you were here for it, Bear. I said the exact same thing. That's
it's literally that is the cornerstone. And if you can't do that, you are talking at your partner, not with your partner. And it is highlighted. It really isn't. Like I said, it was rushed. The oath was rushed, but it's highlighted how much friction it gathered in chapters in chapter 5. Just how frustrated Fang was in their major fight. Something I will go back, delve deep into the rewrite. Keep saying that, but that's the truth. But because I see the fight in my head and I read it on the page and it's not the same thing. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does to me.
I think so.
But it was Anon's want to do something special for Fang that she didn't need all that. What the hell? What's wrong with you, weirdo? You know, she just wanted to. She would have been happy. She'd have been happy to take her out to fucking McDino's. And this lack of communication, this absolute failure of lack, almost fucking. It was very close. Funny how actually close Sweet Memories was to be ending up to be an E3 ending of all of it. It's actually funny. And I did not highlight how actually stressed everybody was until the big snappy moment in Chapter 7. And that was my fault. Hell, somebody actually on AO3, somebody actually caught that. They say, does it seem like anybody else that this is almost like an E3, or is it just me? I'm like, oh, this son of a bitch this son of a bitch picked it up quicker than everybody else.
I will say, like, sometimes, like, AO3 comments are pretty great. Like, I think it was in Return to Monkey chapter 6 or 7. Someone said, man, Anon is just, like, kind of skating through all the problems without any kind of conflict. And I just looked at it and said, well, shit. I mean, you're wrong, because I know what's going to happen next, but damn, I guess, yeah, okay, this looks pretty clean so far. Well, time to ruin it next chapter. Yay.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the comments that you've been thinking about that actually piss you off the hardest. Isn't it?
Sometimes you just kind of sit there and kind of go, I know what's going to happen. This comment's kind of ironic and hilarious. And sometimes you go, you missed the point entirely. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. I had a moment where Naomi and Fang came out as dating / queer and made it a big thing because, well, sadly, I've seen people who've had to kind of like leave families for that kind of event in their life. And someone said, this is kind of boring. Like, this doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't do anything for the plot. And I just went, you obviously
didn't read it.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, you just don't fucking matter to me then.
You don't.
For example, people will say, oh, where's the drama? Where's the rising action? Where's the conflict? Where's the action? Not everything does.
You've missed it. It's a minor conflict, if anything.
Yeah. It's like, firstly, this is my story. Fuck you. Secondly, fuck you for calling out what I've been thinking about this entire time. And it was that kind of comment that was public in the Snoot Club by Drost that really made me want to really rethink Sweet Memories as a whole. It's like I said, it was the comment that I've been thinking about for months at that point, where I wanted to go back and either clean up parts of Sweet Memories or rewrite it all together. And I said, okay, you know what? Fuck you very much too. We're going to go ahead and rewrite it. You know what? I've been thinking about this for months. It's time to stop being a pussy and pull the trigger. You know, and then there we go. We have 2 chapters done, and the third one is in the staging grounds.
There you go.
Yeah. But, I'm so sorry. Poor blue is such a wonderful color, isn't it?
What did you do to this man?
I actually, I made the most unhinged fucking stalker psychopath I think I've ever written, is what I made this crazy son of a bitch. See, here's the thing about Blue. This is the thing. He doesn't really have a fucking character. Go ahead and put it what he is. He's a plot device.
Is he the guy who's trying to steal Anon skin?
He believes he's Anon. He is so far fucking gone, he believes he's fucking Anon. That's his character. And when he sees a random skinny with Fang, he starts to have a huge fucking tantrum. So it's like trying to kill yourself. That's where he was having. He actually had a huge speech that he was going to, but he freaked out when Anon started talking. You know, the whole stop talking, your words like sandpaper on my brain type deal. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, sometimes like just making original villains can be tricky,
Yes.
legitimately.
Yes,
Ugh.
Go ahead.
I did that with Anand's dad in We All Lift, and
Mhm.
that's been kind of fun. Like instead of being the abusive alcoholic, whatever you want to call it, I just made him like a cool, smooth, like, all right, I'll just come back later and I'll continue to harass you. Too bad. Just a very slow evil, which I kind of dig the feel of more so.
Mhm.
It feels more threatening that way. If that's
A looming menacing threat. Yes, very much so.
yeah, it feels better that way to have a slow, constant presence rather than just, oh hey, I hate you because I'm racist, which I admittedly did do for Return to Monkey as well.
Mhm.
But the racists in my other fic, they're plot devices, much like you said, Bears. They're plot devices. They're there to kind of help further the story along. You also just kind of go, well, how does character A, B, C react to this new threat? Accordingly, here's how it goes. So it's like a minor bump of the road versus a hill,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
it's
Go ahead.
it's not easy. It's just not easy to do well.
No,
Sometimes you love it, sometimes you hate it.
Yeah, you should have seen. Again, there is so much cut content for Sweet Memories. It's stupid. When the first, I think you've been inside my doc, and one
Yep.
of the very first notes that I leave on the title card on the chapter is for all of those who whom enter this place of hell, please be warned, it's going to look like a schizophrenic nightmare until shit starts to fall together.
I have seen that note. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Literally, it's like this gigantic warning to anybody. It's like, why are there fragmented paragraphs? Because the paragraphs have not completely. I don't understand, and I do not understand the type of mind that can start typing from start to finish uninterrupted without 57 different plot points in between. I don't get that. Organized chaos is what I delve in.
It's man, sometimes it's hard to really go through that. Like, do you ever say, for instance, go through what you feel like is a great beginning of a chapter? You're halfway through the next, say, POV shift, plot points, whatever have you, and then something in the back of your head goes, "What if you added like 3 lines of dialogue to what you did like 3 pages ago?" And it just flows better.
And then it fucks up the rest of the paragraphs that come. Yes, you don't understand how much I scream at my monitor when that happens. Oh my god, why?
Yep. And also rewriting entire things because you let the dialogue get away from you. You just kind of go, well, that doesn't make sense anymore.
I need to reiterate how many times Encore was rewritten. How many times the prom was rewritten. I need to go ahead and tell you it was rewritten 4 times. That entire chapter was supposed to be chapter 9. Chapter 9, Mirror Dreams, came to me in a manic state in the middle of my shower. Like, holy shit, this is genius. And then I went in and I typed it. I literally typed for 10 hours. And I collapsed. And I got up, I got back up, I had my coffee, I got back up, and I typed for 10 more hours, and boom, chapter 9 was ready to go. 3 days, 2 days to type, 1 day to edit for Swan.
Yeah. So I
have extreme writer's rust just like that sometimes.
That makes sense. For me, I remember I at one point had a plot where I was going to have Inko and Olivia have a complete shit fit fight in the rain scene for We All Live Together. It was going to be more of a blowout because I made Inko more of a jealous character of Olivia's life. But I looked at it and I just kind of realized this is going to be a pain in the ass to really do well. Mm-hmm. And I'm not that good. Instead, I'm going to make this a miniature escalation and have things slowly build off from that. And then have the tension in a much better place at a better time that seems more believable. Because I cannot do this plot point well enough and be satisfied with it.
Yeah,
And sometimes I just kind of look back at myself and I go, should I have done that thing? Should I have not been much of a coward? Ugh.
prime example, good example of this is my biggest weakness. My weakest character is Rosa, and
Really?
yes, I get it. She's stereotypical. She's a stereotypical Latina. I get it. But I kind of want to give her her own little twist or something that doesn't scream, "I'm Latina. This is me." You know that's one of my biggest. It's not a gripe. It's not a gripe. It's just prime example of this. The best example of this is Party Girl Sam. How do you write Samantha? Housewife number 57. How do you write Housewife 57? Fuck if I know. She's going to have an actual personality. She's going to have an actual fear. She's going to actually have actual, she's going to be a little bit of an unhinged mom, true, but that just absolutely makes it all the more fun to write. But Proto Sweet Memories. Reason why Samantha did not start to pop up until chapter 8 is because I wasn't done cooking her until then. That's part of the rewrite. I see. That's what I say. Everything was rushed, and now that I actually have a grasp of how to write things, I don't have to worry about now that I know that Mia and Naomi are sisters, I can go back and say I was really scared. I was actually terrified of making Mia Naomi's sister because I did not know how to write Mia. I do now.
Yeah, it's fun.
I do now. She is one of the reasons why her character is the way she is because her father passed, and she is suffering as a result. When she needed that critical, her mother is a police and mob liaison, and through this busy life, she does not have enough time to raise a child such as Mia, and Mia takes it out on other people. And Mia took it so hard that her father died that she didn't even attend his own funeral, didn't attend her own father's funeral. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what her character is.
I can tell that hits you hard and hits everybody hard because I can just hear you getting so choked up on it.
Yeah, imagine
a very real thing.
Imagine being hit so hard that you're terrified of burying your own father. You can't bear to see it, right?
Yeah.
And see, that's how I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to say fix. I'm not going to fix Mia. I'm just going to say I'm going to. Yes, because as her canon character is, it's hyper bitch. That's her. She's hyper bitch. That's her entire character. She's hyper bitch bully number 35.
Yeah, it's boring whenever you have someone just two-dimensional like that. Ugh, God.
I really, 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 really regret the fact that Kavanon did not fight hard enough to get the jealousy aspect that they wanted. At least that's the rumor that I heard that they wanted for her character.
It's hard for me to.
The jealousy aspect of Mia's character, kind of almost like love triangle. That's what she was supposed to be. That's what I've heard. That is what I've heard. But I've also heard the artist, which I will leave unnamed, wanted her to be hyper bitch 24/7 when she was on the screen with no weakness shown.
I'm not sold on that concept, but again, like you said, it's a rumor. hard to verify,
Yes, right.
and 2, things were kind of left wanting by development, so that we can't really judge that fairly. So it's that's a thought.
Yeah,
Something to think about, but then again, we're all fanfic writers, so we're all just making up our own reasons as we go along.
that's right.
Yep.
That's right. And
Yeah, I have Mia as a chubby, formerly bullied girl. That's why she has it in my fic so far.
there you go. That fucking works too.
Yeah.
It's like that absolutely works. You turn from a bully girl into a mean girl, 100%. And that is it's absolutely an insecurity that way. That's perfect. Yeah, no. What the fuck were we talking about?
Okay, so
I've lost
Goose
plot.
asked us something, and it just
I
got
don't
lost.
know. We're just
I
talking
was
about.
talking about how to end things. Like, how do you choose an ending? Like, if we go back to the hypothetical new game,
and then-
how do we
and
do
then-
like monk ending?
We haven't ended anything apparently because this conversation keeps rambling.
and then Smooth and I just start rambling about our fucking fix, and it's like, yeah,
Great.
Yeah. Well, I can talk about how I end smut fix. I mean, jeez.
I mean,
And then he climaxed the end.
I mean,
No, you have to have an aftercare scene. You fucking
you have to have the afterglow, you absolute barbarian.
exactly. You have to have aftercare and sweet talking. That is what
Right.
happens at the end. I
Right,
put it in
and-
every single one of my fics. You brain dead little goblin.
See, I stop right as the action starts, and I almost want to jump all the way in, but but I love the pillow talk scenes that I can
Yeah,
that I
those
can
are
conjure up.
nicer than the actual smut scenes.
Yeah, I think that Steam, it's the language, 100%.
I like the slow down a little better, where you're just like, God, I love this thing. When
Yeah.
it's in me, as opposed to we're going hot and heavy. I'm going ham, balls deep. That's not so much my
it's
scene.
the language. It's always the language and the choice words used. For example, Drost is fond of one particular word that starts with Q. I don't think I can say it on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It makes me crack up every single time I see it.
Oh yeah, no, but I can't say anything because I literally get paid to write just degenerate bullshit,
Yeah.
and then I mix it up with sweet talk afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, it works out in the end.
I think that Steam is hilariously fun. Chapter 12 was just absolutely just oh my god. I was giggling the entire way through the chaotic the chaotic cuddle with Kiss in the background, by the way. I was just giggling.
But
The entire but yeah.
please finish your thought, please.
But no, but Steam is absolutely a lot funner to write and B funner to read because it's the implications that let your mind run wild.
So
that makes it a little bit more hot, and I can understand the appeal of both. Really,
I will say, I think in a mainline smut, in a mainline fic, having a time and place for what you want to do is appropriate as a side story, which I've done. But whenever someone says, I just want to read how these two characters really go at it, having a separate story into that self is, I think, more fun. And it's optional. Someone can kind of say, oh, how did a happy accident actually all start? And Swan can go, well, here's how it actually started. And just put it as a side story, and
So-
entirely separate of the fic. And I've done
If
that.
you're talking about like time frames and whatnot, Megaloboxing takes place very quickly before the housing crisis. I was barely conscious of anything at that point. I just kind of remember the vibe of uncertainty that happened, and that's it.
Yeah, it wasn't fun to live through. Let's put it that way.
yeah, no. Fucking Minuk says that my Sam is his absolute favorite. It's my bias that she's my favorite too. She's my absolute second favorite character to write, outside of Fang having dork attacks.
Wait, Bears, have you read Monk's Awakened Sam fic?
You're gonna have to go ahead and link it to me, 100%.
Okay, Monk, if you could at some point link me your fic and we'll give it to Bears because this shit's. Put it in his channel. You know where it is. It's hilarious.
If
Just throw it in this fucking Discord. Bears is here right now.
wait, is this
True.
is this the Ripley?
There's a whole thing for it.
Is this the Ripley Sam fic? Is that what that is?
No, this
And
is.
I'll be able to
Sam
find it then easily.
instinctually understanding when Amber was born and having a transcendental moment of enlightenment.
You're not telling me that's just not canon Sam? That's 100% what she's gonna do. She's literally just. They're going to the two dorks are going to be doing the dinosaur one night, and Sam is gonna wake up in a cold sweat. It's like, and grandbabies, and go back to sleep.
The star is here. The star is born.
Yeah, no, it's like,
Oh god, a star is born. A holy accident happened.
oh, that's hilarious. No, Falling was like, hey Bears, do you have any lore for like biblical times? I'm like, fucking what?
Yeah, I saw that fic pop up. And it was like the first thing I saw Christmas Eve morning, and
It's like,
hilarious.
and I suggested in the doc. Wheat stalks are for girls. What are for boys? Corn. It's like, I thought that was hilarious. That was great. That's good though. That entire fic was hilariously fun. It's
God,
props on Falling for actually have a fluff fic now. We'll
oh, it's so adorable. I just can't wait for him to make a rope fic.
yeah, I know, but we'll you and I can corrupt Meister fully back into him writing the Grunkle Mo fic that I want him to write. That he
I mean,
started.
my guy, I made Meister edit Lean on Me for me. He does not
By
want
the
to
way,
collaborate.
Monk has hit the tower with his fic. The recommendations.
Poor bastard.
Yeah,
It's like
there we go.
You read some of these authors' works. It's like, God, do you need a hug? I can give you a hug. It's free. Do you want a hug? I can give it to you. It's free, man.
I had people reach out to me via DMs and go, "Are you okay?" After reading
Yeah.
Lean on Me.
Yeah. No, the thing is, like, I could very you know that angsty feeling of chapters, of chapters, fucking 14, and that absolutely dreadful bits of chapter 1 or of chapter the first bit of chapter 9. I could do Misery. I don't have a problem doing Misery, but I won't, because it's easy to fall into that mindset because of how emotionally charged I get when I write.
So for me, I did write Lean on Me while imagining losing my wife going through that stuff, and that helped kind of put things into perspective. However, it was actually a really nice experience to kind of put it on an upswing, because it is a bit of a hook at the end. It has got some hope towards it. It's sharp, but it happens. And honestly, after I got done writing it, I had just complete upbeat energy for days afterwards. Complete, like, expulsion of what negativity I wanted to focus on. Got put into the fic. I made it bittersweet. I gave it the hope at the end it needed. And it was fantastically fun, because then afterwards, people really enjoyed it. They made all kinds of comments. And of course, afterwards, the storyboard got filled with memes about the fic that had become complete inside jokes that are horrible. Tiny Box is now a thing on Lean on Me's chat that is hilarious and amazingly awful to see happen. Monk is the one who is here. He wrote the Grand Ascension, which we talked about, by the way, Bears. And he has fueled the awful misery stickers that are on Lean on Me that are hilarious and make me cackle every time I see them.
Sweet Memories chat is always a shit show. It's great because it's mostly me just ranting on the fucking dorks, and hell, if you ever in the Sweet Memories chat, that's typically what we do. We just fucking talk about shit. It's fun. It's hilarious. I'm still wrapping my head around to having a small community that rallies around my shit,
Right? That shit's wild.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nuts. There are more than 9,000 people that have at least clicked on Sleep Memories.
I feel
Oh,
like
God.
some mortal man watching the gods of Olympus communicate when I'm in the room with the two of you here.
Oh,
It's people call me a fluff god. It's like I write dorks in love. That's all I do.
I'm
And
now
people
called,
like this.
I'm now being called smut rock for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, you literally say that's what you do.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
I mean, so
Better than smoothcock.
if
Oh God!
Jesus.
Oh jeez!
Ew. So I guess that's how the rock crumbles, huh?
Oh God!
Yeah, we're
Oh.
still going, Maestro. We're still
Yeah.
going.
We're still going. We can.
Oh man, this is
Listen,
awful.
so you said that your wife was going to come in at some point, and I'm willing to go until she tells you to go to fucking bed.
We've been doing this for more than 5 hours. I will say.
Ah,
Yeah, greater than
Wow.
5 hours. You're going to be receiver's time without padding for runtime.
Well, you also made receiver do the devlog demo, so I guess that's like a bit of fluff right there.
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
padding for runtime with receiver.
Yeah. Well, now he also joined my interview, and now he has joined my interview.
Yeah, it's when it comes to writing emotions, you have to. Me personally, I have always had my heart on my sleeve, and when I write, I let it bleed onto the page. That entire bit when Anon wakes up, by the way, that was written in 30 seconds. That entire thing was written in less than 2-3 minutes. That was just a burst of emotions. It's crazy because I'll weep while I type through certain bits of the story.
That's how you know it's going to be fire when it gets even you.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah.
I think Meister cried 14 times editing Lean on Me.
Yeah, I have one prompt. I have one note when I leave for myself. When I start these segments, it's weep. That's all. That's in the Google Docs. That's what I'll highlight. I'll highlight the place where it starts, and I'll just literally put weep as a note.
I don't know.
And
I kind of like when you reference Beartooth. That's just hilarious to me.
Isn't that hilarious? It's it's fucking and it's like I actually feel like I hate myself. Wow, he should listen to Beartooth.
Oh gosh. All right. I will say, Goose. I think we should probably draw this to a wrap up pretty soon.
Oh no, this
Yeah.
is absolutely
I could go a while longer.
this is I'm becoming incoherent. Don't worry about me.
I mean, my throat is starting to give out. I will say, I've had like 3 cups of tea delivered to me during this interview.
And she didn't even say hello. How rude.
I mean, sorry, you're just not that big time anymore.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm not that big time. Was I ever?
I mean, you went from 81 to 85 during stream.
Yeah. I think you brought that with you.
Oof. Oh well. I will take that accolade. I made your subscriber count jump just a little bit.
Just
There you go.
A smidge.
You went from a B minus to a solid B,
Ah.
grade wise.
But by the way, thank you for pulling me in. This was good. This was fun. This was fun.
This is
stuff.
entertaining. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great seeing you.
Yeah. I'm free to talk whenever. Fuck it.
Well, whenever you see people in here, they're generally happy to talk to you.
Hell yeah, I'll do that.
Oh.
And rants about tarot lore.
I'm just waiting for Swan to come back or for Meister to get in here. Even Falling, I don't care. I'm gonna join one of these bozos. And
I'll see
derail.
about
I'm
Fallen
gonna-
if he's
I'm
interested. Swan bullied me, so he's getting in apparently. Meister
Oh,
said
God.
he was willing. What
I
do you mean,
need
oh, thank
to-
God. I got bullied by Swan. This is not fair. That's my shtick.
You know,
I don't know,
Swan.
I kinda love it.
It's funny. It's funny because Swan was my inspiration for to start writing. I don't know if you know that or not. Swan was the guy that actually pushed me over the edge to start writing. It's like, and now he thoroughly enjoys my lore. It's funny how shit like that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember seeing his comment on my fic. I was like, "Oh, he said this is good. Keep going." I'm like, "What the fuck? What?"
Do you realize how terrifying those words are to me?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
Keep at it.
when I say, "Hey, does this make sense?" And then he'll say something like, "It's all up to you. Do you understand the levels of fear that invokes in me?" What does that mean?
For me, it was like just kind of when I started like commenting on other people's fics, they would go, "Oh my god, yay!" I'm like, "What do you mean? What?"
I think
What?
I might
Yeah.
start a pissing match with Swan Father as a joke.
It's funny. It's great. I love when you pop into my chat and you two start goosing off to become silly geese. Yeah. You okay?
He's silly.
Fine.
You just called me a whore to my face.
I've evolved to have like a very dry sense of humor my entire life.
What is this preferential bullshit, Goose? Jesus Christ, this is my interview.
You mean Jesus Christ?
I'm gonna cook your goose.
You can try. It's good Chinese food.
Right. Thank you for that. Christ. Okay. What was I gonna say?
Skate fast, eat ass.
Hydrate. Love yourself. Love others. Talk things out with your partner. Don't be afraid to get into nitty-gritty details.
Also, I have recommended fics to pay attention for. Okay, so I know freaking a Bodhisattva has been sung to death. I'm not going to bother, because we all know how good that is. It's just going to continue. If anyone has not actually read Porcelain Doll, do yourself a favor and just go read that, please.
Be fucking warned. Fucking hell.
It's very, very good, though.
I'm actually scarred after reading that, and God.
Yeah, but also there was someone in the channel today called Fussy who made a side introductory excerpt. Essentially, it was a very well done, like just side story. It is. It fits into it, and it makes complete sense. I love it to death. After that, let's see. What else was there? I mean, I could talk about Sweet Memories, but I guess I don't really have to at this point. Okay, so for real, I have 3 more to talk about. 1, Killer Queen. Love it. Read it. It's great. 2, Sugar and Cyanide. Actually, might be pretty damn good. Just kind of recommend putting out there, people. You want to see what happens when Inko and Mia get along and it's not an E4 scenario or E1 scenario? Maybe read that. It's pretty great. And there is somebody in the servers called Orion Necropolis who is cooking up something I dearly want to see. It is an Inko Mia fic, yes, of course, but as childhood friends. So he's building that up, and there is all sorts of good ideas cooking up. Whenever I see that, I'm going to crow about it and make people look at it because he made Landmines, which was a very well done E2 fic so far, where Non and Fang actually talk it out. And it is going well so far. I very much support Orion Necropolis. Whenever you see this, you little gremlin, I will want you to complete writing that. Also, Swan, finish My Boy Blue, Baby Blue. I don't care. Just fucking put it out, please. I need Dadanon.
We need more Nick and Dadanon.
I need Dadanon so goddamn badly. That story looks so good.
Yeah, that's the man, the mythos, fucking Talos.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, all right. So I suppose if you're wanting to wrap this up, I should ask, who should I text into my list right here? Who's next? We already have Lanny planned. We already have Lanny planned next for the very next, but who's after?
See, for me, it's got to be Meister or Swan. One of the two.
Naomi Firefly. I want to hear what they have to say on Good Faith, because it just recently wrapped up.
Oh shit! Good Faith.
Yes, they are helping me with scenes of scenes for future chapters and Sweet Memories, and I really want to hear what they have to say and their thought processes. Naomi Firefly, 100%. That is my nomination, and I forgot to do that last time, and that is my mistake. I had tunnel vision during the end. 100%. They need to be interviewed if they can be.
I'll see what I can do.
Please. They're in the Snoot Club. I don't know if they're in your server or not.
They are not.
Okay. Do you want me to give me a bed? Do you want me to give you their at?
That would be helpful. Yes.
You got it eventually, my guy.
Thank you. English is fun
You
sometimes,
can also just
guys.
send an invite to them, and they can show up, and I'll know them.
Yeah. Okay. There's their username. I'll give them an invite though. But yeah, definitely, because Firefly has been infected by my fluff and has been infected by the tarot lore.
Bears are just fluffy creatures in general.
And I'm a lore creature as well, apparently. I have baryonyx lore, but I'm saving that. I have some in the chamber, you could say.
You're saving it for later. Always
Yeah.
respectable. Is there any final regards before I sign off? Flip the screen. There's not really a good way to draw this to a good conclusion, I found. It's just...
Drink water, stay warm.
Skate fast, eat trash, consume ass.
Very well.
It's
there
better
is.
to sink in
Blast
better to
off.
come in the sink than sink in the cum.
All
That's
right.
right.
Have confidence in yourself. Believe in yourself. If somebody tells you that you're doing a good job, don't turn it away. Actually accept it.
Love
See you, Space
yourself.
Cowboy.